Welcome back to Gavin Reads It All and the mildly anticipated second episode of TBR Traitors. This is a series that was inspired by the television show The Traitors, where a group of people are put into a castle and they have been dubbed the Faithfuls. However, they also have to try and find out who among them are the traitors. With my bookish spin on this, I have picked 10 highly anticipated books off my TBR, and a trusted friend of mine has picked which 8 of those books are Faithfuls and which 2 of those books are traitors. Every time I read a book, I will find out if that book was a faithful or a traitor, but only once I have banished the book off my TBR. It is my job in this video to find the 2 traitors before reaching the end of my TBR, or the traitors win. For every 2 faithful books that I end up banishing, I will have the ability to complete a challenge. If I complete the challenges successfully, then I can ask my trusted friend for a hint. Does this concept for a video make sense? No, absolutely not. But when it comes to Gloria Winkleman, nothing ever makes sense. This is TBR Traitors. I'm sure that worked. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Gav.
Welcome to the TBR Traitors castle, the turret in which the magic happens. You have come to my turret, Steph, for a very important job. Do you think you're up to the task?
Yes.
No. Your job today is to listen to the 10 books that I really want to read for this episode, and in your mind, concoct a plan. Concoct a plan which 8 books will be faithfuls and which 2 books will be traitors. Okay. And then it's my job to try and find the traitors. So you can play it as I can make these books really challenging and maybe try and pick the books that will take you longer to get to so that you don't get the traitor straight away. Or you can try and get me out by picking books that I'm most likely to pick up first to be traitors. Yep. You can play it any which way. Any which way. So let's briefly mention the 10 books that I'm going to be wanting to read in this video. And you're just going to think. You're going to think. Anything to add?
No.
Okay. The first book that I'm going to mention is Witch Trial by Harriet Tyce. Now, the reason why I want to read this book in this video is because Harriet Tyce was one of the contestants on the recent UK season of The Traitors. So I thought it would be really cool to read the book that she wrote. Although she's written a few. This is her newest one. I would also like to read My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. The reason I want to read this one is because I've heard a lot of people really enjoy this one recently, and I'm dying, absolutely dying, for my first 5-star thriller. I don't think I've ever given a thriller 5 stars. Ooh. Maybe. I don't know. Someone have to fact check me on that. And I will tell you what these books are about when I get to reading them, of course. The next book that I would maybe like to read is Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. The reason why I picked this one is because it was in my first episode and I didn't get a chance to read it in the first episode. Next, I picked Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson, and this is mainly because you really enjoyed this one. So, you know, kind of my special guest star kind of picks my TBR.
You're a poet.
Did
you know it?
No, I did not. I would love to read The Fisherman by Langan, because this is going to be the next Literary Dead Book Club pick, and I am a host for it, so I should absolutely give it a read. Yes. I absolutely should.
I would recommend.
I recommend reading the book club books. Do you ever read the book club books you're part of?
No.
No, didn't think so. Should DNF them.
The only one I did was Book Troop.
But honestly, that turned out to be 5-star though.
Yeah.
Turned out to be
it
5-star.
did.
Let's switch things up a little bit. And I have here All Sunny Days Volume 1 by Jeong Seokchan. And this is a manhwa. And the reason why I picked this one is because it's apparently very gay, but also very, very cute. So, we love LGBTQ plus representation on this channel. Do you like LGBTQ plus representation?
Yes.
Okay. You should have said no. Next, I have Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada. And I'm picking this one because it is in my 26 books to read in 2026. Do you like books?
No.
I'm just thinking of random shit questions to ask you. Next, I have Vigil by George Saunders. One of the main reasons why I want to pick this one is, well, one, because Kayla from Books and Law really likes it. And two, I went out of my way to get the American copy because the UK cover is absolutely shit. So I did have to import this, so I went the extra mile. So I'd better read it.
Yeah.
Would you like to read this one?
Maybe.
Next, I have picked The Macabre by Kosoko Jackson. I picked this one because I actually started this one recently when I was in Santa Rosa, California, and I was really enjoying it so far. However, I didn't get a chance to finish it, and I would like to finish it. I would.
Fair.
So can you say that again?
Fair.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, we have We Are Legion, We Are Bob by Dennis A. Taylor. And I'm mainly going to read this one as well because I actually found out about it through yours truly. What did you think of it?
It was good.
Good. So now I've said to Steph all the reasons why I want to read these 10 books specifically. So now Steph is going to, formulate her own ideas and what she wants to do. I will have no idea what she picks as faithfuls and what she picks as traitors. But I will hopefully try and maybe work it out throughout the video by using the reasons that I just gave. Yeah. And you might have your own reasons why you've picked these ones. Either way, this is a bit of a stupid vlog idea, but it doesn't matter because we're having fun. And girls just want to have fun. Facts. Okay? Say that again.
Facts.
Facts and shags.
Call me.
Literally, call us. So, Steph, do you have a game plan?
Absolutely not. This is really difficult. That's a really good TBR. And part of me wants you to read them all.
I know, right? Which is why, maybe that's the game plan. The game plan is, how do you rank it? How do you rank, which ones is Gavin not going to go to first?
Yeah.
Because now it sounds to me like you want this episode to last 2 hours and 37 minutes. Exactly. You want me to read all 10?
Literally, yeah.
Well.
That's exactly it.
Best of luck. And if you end up enjoying the video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Steph from Steph Loves, who will be linked down below. And yeah, let's get into episode 2 of TBR Traitors. Call me on the line. I feel like a little proud mama bear who has just given birth because I am resting these books on my knee. And yeah, I feel like these are my children and I'm just comforting them. I'm giving them so much comfort because who knows which two have been cursed. And I'm genuinely not sure what to start with. Any of them could be a good option to start with. My goal is to not exactly get the traitors just yet. So I'm trying to think, which books would Steph make traitors? And we could do a little prediction now. Maybe she would make... I feel like she would make one of them a traitor that she knows I really do have to read. ASAP. So maybe the Fisherman. I think she might have made a traitor. And then maybe... Oh god, maybe something unassuming. Maybe Dinner at the Night Library as well. Because there's a 26 books to read in 2026. Okay, those are my two little predictions. I'm not going to read The Fisherman just yet. I do have a live show for it, for the Literary Dead Book Club in a few days, but we still have time. I might... You know what, I think because I've already started it, I think I'm going to go with The Macabre by Kosoko Jackson. I have already started this one. I started it earlier this month as I was coming from the United States to the UK. And I got a little bit of the way through. I got 54 pages in. So I'm up to chapter 5 and I don't think I need to reread the first 4 chapters. I really don't. This one does follow Lewis, and he is invited by the British Museum to come and bring one of his paintings. His painting is very traumatic. It's very disturbing, but it is an inspired piece of work, and the British Museum are going to see if Lewis has the ability to go into this painting. And not a whole great deal had happened by the time I'd stopped reading. He did get to the museum and we met someone called Evangeline. I might give chapter 4 a little bit of a reread because she does explain a lot of law related stuff. So yeah, I think I might go back a chapter and do that. But the writing so far had been pretty good. I didn't have any complaints, and it was quite nice to escape into this story as I was traveling. So I'm very happy with my choice to start off with this one. Do I think Steph made it a traitor? Maybe. It would be hilarious though if the first book I read in this vlog is a traitor. It would genuinely make me laugh so hard. You know, every time I leave the house and I have to go up and down this massive bank, I have been listening on repeat to The Climb by Miley Cyrus. In literally, when I tell you on repeat, I mean I'll start the song at the bottom of the bank and I listen to it 2.5 times as I'm walking up this bank. It takes me about 10 minutes to walk up this goddamn massive bank. So yeah, I literally start the song again because I just feel so much motivation and passion as I am walking up. And it feels great. It feels great. So yeah, I was just at training today. It is currently Wednesday and it's going to be a really nice week, I think, because I don't really have a whole lot going on. I feel like March was incredibly tough, incredibly social as well. There was a lot of going around, there was a lot of movement, there was a lot of concerning things happening as well. So I hope and I think that April is going to be a lot more chill. So last night I was doing some reading sprints and I got to page 229 of The Macabre by Kosoko Jackson, and I'm still really liking this. I think it's written so beautifully. I love a lot of the description because some of it is so it clashes. There's 2 different images that you get and it clashes. I did write down an example, sleep suffocated him in the nicest way possible, and there's all these different kinds of images that runs through that makes you think of something negative but also something positive at the same time. There is a huge juxtaposition between the two, and it's making this such an interesting read. I'm hanging on to every word the author says because I'm okay, what are we gonna show us next? Because even a big part of this and a big part of why I love this book so far, well, I mean love is a strong word, but I like this book a lot, is the paintings and the exploration of that and the imagery and how awfully macabre a lot of it is. But also I'm finding it not scary. I'm not finding it is an outward horror kind of thing. A lot of it is the suggestion of a lot of things. And with Lewis's ability, there is an element of time that is being brought into it, and some of the consequences of going into these paintings and seeing what was there, but also there's more of a bigger world outside of that as well. It's slowly starting to open up as well. So we do have Lewis, he's gone to London to the British Museum and stuff like that, but also we are going to Osaka, which I love because I've been there and I love Osaka. I think it's so beautiful. But we're seeing different factions within this world and what that pertains to the industry, what the British Museum are doing with these paintings and this whole idea. There is a bit of a magic system that isn't fully front and center, but it has been mentioned a few times. And it's definitely different to what I expected because I genuinely just thought it was about a guy called Lewis who was just going in and out of these paintings and these paintings were scary. That's what I genuinely thought, but it's actually been a little bit more than that. And he is, building connections. He is also black and he is gay, and the amount of issues and problems he's had to face because of that too. There's actually a good parallel. I think it was in chapter 24. There's a good parallel between being black and gay versus being owned and someone having ownership of you, because that also pertains to the paintings and the paintings that Lewis can go in and out of, his abilities, his powers. And so there was this confrontation. So there was this moment around about then where there was the ownership of art and stuff like that, and how that relates to Lewis and his situation and his identity and what he can do and stuff like that. So yeah, honestly, it's been very interesting. I would give this a high rating for the writing alone. I am wondering about the plot though, because I have this much left. I'm loving the exploration of a lot of the stuff that it's doing, but I'm not 100% sure of like the linear plot. I don't know what the end goal fully is just yet. So I'm not sure the direction, which is a blessing. Sometimes definitely a blessing. But yeah, I want to say like how this plot becomes linear and how it ties into Lewis as a character. I want to say what that does. So excited to finish it. I will finish it today. My mum is coming with my sister, and I'm going to give my mum the biggest hug because she did have to put down her cat recently, who was again like my cat as well when I lived with her, and that was really sad. That was really traumatic, but we got his ashes back yesterday, so that's all fine and well. If you did miss it, I did have a cat called Suki, and I mentioned it in my Reading Jan's Worst Books video, which is going up before this one. And yeah, it was really sad. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, that's kind of what she's going through. So she's coming today. I'm going to stay here for an hour, and my sister's coming with her as well. So I won't be reading anymore just yet. I also need to follow up with the Boiler Man because he was supposed to come 2 weeks ago. He ordered a part, but my heating keeps coming on randomly. And so I'm like, can you fix this? It's been a couple of weeks and I need to know. Guy was here yesterday to fix my toilets. Honestly, everything's just kicking off. I just want things to calm down. And I think it will. Once this boiler's fixed, I think things will calm down again. And I can really like just focus on reading. I can focus on reading, doing TBR Traitors, and just living my life, which is what I need this week and this month. And it is the 1st of April now. Happy 1st of April. Happy April Fool's Day. I should have pulled a prank or something on my trainer this morning. I totally forgot. Ugh. I have just finished the Macabre and I'm giving it a 3.5. I don't think it really kept the horror all the way through. In fact, I would probably say this is more of a fantasy than horror, even though the cover would suggest otherwise. So I think maybe going into this, if I thought it was going to be more fantasy leaning, then I would have went in with different expectations. And yeah, I mean, it was still really good. Like, I still enjoyed my time. I was very invested in some of the like later plots where there is like mention of like Jack the Ripper and seeing how like these paintings and these experiences that Lewis is having is affecting his sort of past and what he is doing in the present to dictate that. And it was just such a fascinating read. Like, I was genuinely invested. But yeah, I think looking back on it now, I think most of the horror for me personally comes from like the paintings themselves. Sometimes the imagery as well can be very grotesque. So there's a lot of like gross kind of horror. Things to do with skin and bodies is definitely something that gets under my skin. And I love the way that it was depicted because it was very gnarly. It was very gruesome. Can't fault the writing at all. I think it was very lushly written, despite, you know, a lot of the grotesqueness of it. And after starting this nearly a month ago now, since it is April 1st today, I started it early March. So it's been like nearly a month. And I'm just happy to have like ticked it off. I did the same thing with the Port Empress recently. I started that in a different vlog and then I finally finished it like a month later. And the same thing happened last year as well. I don't know what it is, but the last year I have been starting a book and then finishing it like the next month. And I don't typically do that. Like, I never do that. Ever. Like, I've never done that in the history of my life. At least I don't think so anyway. And so it's just funny that it's happened again. And that happened a couple of times last year as well. Where is it? Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. I started that one. I finished it months later. Same with The Lamb by Lucy Rose. Oh my gosh, like seriously, yeah. It's taken months or sometimes 8 months to finish a book. But nothing, you know, bad about this book or anything like that. It wasn't because it was boring or anything. It was just time and place. Because I did it at my birthday dinner, which isn't happening for another month. Okay, so this is the area where I do the round table. During the day, it's a nightmare because obviously the sun's streaming in, but we're going to work with it. This is the round table where I essentially banish the book that was on my TBR because it's now read. So I'm now banishing it from my TBR. And this is when I'll find out if it's a faithful or a traitor. So yeah, if I've banished a faithful, I will have to unhaul a book in this room. And if it's a traitor, score. Absolute score. So yes, I have finished the Macabre. And this will be the first book banished from my TBR in episode 2 of TBR Traitors. This is ridiculous. I know it is. I genuinely know this is ridiculous. But like, I love making things fun for myself. So hopefully you like that too. So let's put the Macabre up there. Lovely. And let's find out if it's a faithful or a traitor. Oh my gosh. We're back. After 2-3 months, we are back. Whew. Right. Okay, the Macabre, reveal yourself. Are you a faithful? Or are you a traitor? I'm scared to look. I am so scared to look. It's probably going to be a faithful. It's probably going to be a faithful. The Macabre. Okay, it is a faithful. It's a faithful. I banished a faithful. So the traitors are still out there. The traitors are still among us. I'm so sorry to the Macabre. I'm so glad I read you though. I am so glad I read you and finished you in this vlog. But yeah, it's time to say goodbye to the TBR Traitors castle. Which does mean I now have to like look around and see if there is a book that I need to unhaul. The unhaul idea comes from Celeste M. Sandoval, who commented on my previous TBR Traitors episode. So I do feel like, yeah, now that I've banished a book, I don't know if it's like completely what they suggested, but yeah, every time I banish a book that turns out to be faithful, I unhaul a book. So that's kind of where the idea came from. So thank you so much. And thank you so much as well for joining my membership. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, let's have a little look, see what I need to unhaul. And Ash literally jumped straight into my seat. Okay, what do I want to unhaul? I kind of want to unhaul something. It probably will be something that I've probably lost interest in after all this time. All that time I sat alone in my tower, you were just honing your powers, now I can see it all. Keep it 100 on the land, the sea, the sky. Oh, Jesus, Ash! I literally just nearly tripped over. This is actually pretty hard. Oh my god. So I picked one. I'm going to unhaul A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin. I think that, yeah, this is historical. And when I first picked this up, I think it was maybe 2022, 2023. I think I was more into my historical. Yeah, 2022. I was more into my historical then. And I just don't think I would enjoy this as much now as a 2026 reader. So yeah, unfortunately, this will be going. Was pretty beautiful. Got it while I was working at Waterstones, I believe. So I used my Waterstones discount card, which I did unfortunately have to give up. So no longer 50% off books. And I did go crazy with my Waterstones discount card when I used to have it, absolutely. I mean, when you get half price off all books in store, surrounded by books every day as well. Oh my gosh. The temptation. The temptation. So I do think this was a past Gav purchase that I think present Gav is kind of side-eyeing at the minute. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's really good, but I haven't really been enjoying historical as much. So yeah, this one is going to be the one that's leaving, unfortunately. You Have Been Murdered. At first I was like, well, what should I do next? What should I read next? But I think Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, mainly because I did pick it in episode 1 and I didn't get a chance to get to it. So I'm wondering if maybe Steph thought, he didn't get to in episode 1, I'll make it a traitor in episode 2, so he definitely has to read it. Maybe that's like, I really do have to try and think about like what, you know, would be made a traitor, because it's just hard to find it. It's hard to find out. I mean, they do a much better job in the show because there's actual ways that the actual traitors can reveal themselves. There is nothing to reveal these traitors on my TBR. So it's just like a guessing game, really. And it's just, again, it's just a silly idea. But anyway, yeah, Automatic Noodle, I think I'm going to try next. And it is a short one. I have a couple of other short books as well, and I kind of want to space them out. And I think doing the Macabre was a decent sized book, and then I'll switch to this one. And this one is cozy sci-fi. I believe, I'm trying to remember what I said about in the first episode, because it is a novella about a crew of leftover robots opening their very own noodle shop. And yeah, cozy, a little bit sci-fi, and there is an abandoned ghost kitchen, making food the tastiest hand-pulled noodles around for the humans of San Francisco who are recovering from a devastating war. And there's a wave of one-star reviews threatening to boil over into a crisis. I mean, it sounds really topical as well, especially with the news of there having been a war, considering there has been so much devastation in the real world right now, which is, again, like really heartbreaking to see. So I am going to read this one. Hopefully it's pretty good. Hopefully it's a traitor. I mean, do you want the vlog to end anytime soon? Probably not. You're rooting against me, I know you are. But yeah, I could probably get this done today. I have literally the entire day to myself. I can do whatever I want, which is so nice. I can just sit and read and just chill. Well, again, until my cats, you know, want to get involved, which is all the time. I've decided on my day off to go to the gym, and I'm walking down in just a shirt and shorts, and I am freezing cold. It looked way hotter outside because it was heating up my house. The sun was heating up my house. I was roasting. I thought I'll just walk down without a coat on, without any trousers on, just shorts. And I'm regretting my decisions. I'm so cold. And it's a 1.4 mile walk as well, so Anyway, yeah, woke up this morning and I finished Automatic Noodle last night. It was fine. It was fine. It was definitely a lot more involved in the bad reviews that this place was getting. You know, going from, I think it was called Authentic Noodle at first, and then they call it Automatic Noodle because of some, like, bad reviews and stuff. No one behind me, good. It was fine, like, that's the thing, it was fine. Like, it was an interesting plot in terms of the fact that this place is getting review bombed, and I don't know if you can hear all the lovely sounds right now, like, it sounds gorgeous out here. But yeah, they're getting review bombed, and it does look into, you know, authentic reviews and, you know, places and how that affects people and businesses. So I thought that was, like, interesting, but I didn't really find it cozy, like, at all. And the messages that it showed were good. They were very good. Like, I can totally relate to a lot of it. And yeah, it was just fine. Like, I don't really think I have too much to say about it. It was like 190 pages or something, and it went pretty quickly. I can imagine if you're running a business and you're trying to save it from getting shut down online because of those kinds of reviews, I can imagine that would be even more interesting to read. But I wasn't really actually that taken by the plot. It was interesting, but I didn't love it. So I'll probably give it like 2.5 stars. I don't really have too much to say about it. It was a little bit of a nothing burger for me personally. Not offensive, but also not wholly for me, I think. I won't be able to find out if it's a faithful or a traitor until a little bit later when I get home. I haven't walked down here in so long because I usually go through the estate because it's always so muddy. And it still is muddy, but it hasn't been as rainy and as miserable in the UK the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's still been raining and stuff. Like, the ground is still muddy as fuck. But I've been walking through the estate because it's like, it's easier that way. I don't get as, well, I don't fall over, essentially. Yeah, this is my first time in, I think the last time I walked down here was probably like October, maybe. It's been a long time. It's been like five, maybe 6 months since I last walked down here. And it is currently 5 degrees Celsius. If anybody wants to know, why in the world am I wearing shorts and no coat? Regrets. Alan 4, Gavin 0. Right, time to find out if Automatic Noodle is a faithful or a traitor. So now I am banishing you from the TBR. So we will put you there. You have been read. But were you a faithful or were you a traitor? It's time to find out. It's time to find out. Can you please let me know? Please tell me. Please tell me what you are. Oh, God. Right, okay. 2 books in as well, 2 books in. Again, I doubt I probably got another traitor straight away. That would be so pleasantly surprised. Woo! Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Automatic Noodle. I got it. I got it. It's a traitor. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a traitor. Literally, my second book. I wonder if my reasoning for it, my theory, is the reason why Steph picked it as a traitor, because it was in episode 1. And she probably thought, oh, it might take a while for him to get to it again if he didn't go for it in the first episode. You know, there is a pattern. But no, I went for it. It's a traitor. It is a traitor. It's a traitor. Oh my gosh. And you know what? It seems like a bit of a recurring thing now that whenever I get a traitor, it's usually a book that I've rated kind of low-ish. Because the first 2 books in the first episode that were traitors were books that I didn't really fully enjoy. In this one, it was fine. It was a 2.5, but like, it was a traitor. I knew it. I could smell it on you. Oh, which means I don't have to unhaul a book. Yay. I do really need to get The Fisherman read by Josh Langan next, because I have the live show for it on Saturday. It is currently Thursday morning, and I definitely need to do it. I want to film a video tomorrow, so if I can get this done today, or like even finish it tomorrow, or even finish it Saturday morning, at least it'll be done for the live show. And it is the Live Your Dead Book Club with Kayla, Jordaline, and McKenna. So I will link the live show down below because it will have been done by now, but I really need to buckle down and focused on this one today so that I can do my annotations, come to the live show prepared. This is a horror that I was recommended like years ago. A few people brought this up and I never really paid it much heed. I mean, I like the idea of it, I like the sound of it, but I didn't really fully invest myself until like this opportunity arose. So the Fisherman, it follows two widowers, Dan and Abe. They are drawn to a lake where there is rumors of someone called the Fisherman who can help bring them face to face with what they have lost. So it sounds almost like a little bit of a deal with the devil kind of story, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I will discover that as I'm reading. I'm not 100% sure what to expect, other than this is a little bit of an older one, not too old. Came out in 2016, okay? So this is the 10-year anniversary, and this edition was published in 2023 in the UK. So my copy is going to be different to everyone else's, I think, because this is the UK cover. And I believe my co-host will either get the Canadian or the American cover, which I think might be the same. So I do love a little bit of a standout moment where the UK cover is so different. I think I prefer the American cover. I don't really mind too much. This goes like this. It's kind of nice. But I did spot the American cover in Waterstones last week when Steph was visiting. So that was interesting. I've never seen an imported copy of The Fisherman in a big bookstore like Waterstones. So yeah, that was cool. So when I go in the shower, I don't think Steph would have made this a trader, just because she knows I was definitely going to have to read it before a certain point. So it was definitely going to get read relatively early-ish. So I don't know though, could you imagine in episode 1 I got 2 traitors back to back. Could you imagine if this is a traitor and like I've caught them in 3? Could you imagine? I would literally shit myself. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go in the shower now. Hopefully I don't meet the Fisherman in there and have my second coffee of the day. I'm gagging for it.
For me, you'll never love me now, but you'll never know. You got me so bad, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me. You thought it's over, I'm waking alone now, not getting closure, you're feeling me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love, don't call me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love so blindly. I know that you were always how you're using me, but I just had enough. And every time you said you ever wanted me, yeah. When you know we don't get along like we used to. Went along with everything you said and done for me. You'll never love me now, but you'll never know. You got me so bad, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me. You thought it's over, I'm waking alone now, not getting closure, you're feeling me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love, don't call me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love so blindly. You got me sober, you make it all slow down, not getting closer, you're killing me. You thought it's over, I'm waking alone now, not getting closure. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love, don't call me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love so blindly. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love, don't call me. So done running around, I'm so done looking for love so blindly.
That was a solid few hours of reading. I am nearly 150 pages into The Fisherman, and I do really like this so far, but I know for a fact that Mr. John, I might have called him Josh before, I keep wanting to call him Josh and I don't know why. But I know for a fact that John went to the school of Stephen King waffle, because there is a lot of waffle, I will say. But because I'm used to it with Stephen King, I'm kind of liking it. A lot of the waffle does pertain to the characters and building them up as people first, because I think there is a genuine horror when you realize that just an everyday person, an everyday human, is about to face something that is so unimaginable. And by showing a lot of mundane things, it really does. Oh, and Ash is talking to a bird. It really does show that this could maybe happen to you, potentially. Like, I really like the way that this story is being told, because we have Abe directly talking to us as readers, and he'll bring up every now and then, be like, oh, remember this for later, or I'm telling you this story kind of thing. And I do like that. I like that approach. Part 1 of this, and I was going to try and finish part 2 before giving an update, but part 2 is lasting a long time. So yeah, part 1 was more about Abe and Dan and their backstories, essentially. And it is a great look into grief and what they're both going through, what they've lost. And I do think that is going to play later on in the story when if we meet the Fisherman. Part 2 is going even further back to tell us the story about the Fisherman and some things that have happened with other people who have encountered the Fisherman. Just like, it's this really strange, supernatural kind of tale at the minute. And it's reminding me a little bit, I was going to say like a little bit of like Needful Things. There are a couple of things that have happened that is out of people's control. In that aspect of it does remind me of Needful Things, and I did really enjoy Needful Things. It's nothing like that like whatsoever, really, but other than, the Stephen King waffle and also the lack of control that some characters have and being led to do something rather murderous or something that they can't take back, like something really tragic. So I am liking those elements, but I do think there is a lot of things that I think you could easily get lost in, because there have been quite a few characters in part 2 and it's a little bit hard to keep track of them, to be quite honest, and to know what exactly is happening with which character. But a lot of the imagery has been very scary. There's been quite a few like dreams and things that have like tied back to the Fisherman, and he's almost sounding like a really terrifying urban legend. And I'm very excited to see like how that is going to tie back to Dan and Abe, if it will tie back to them, if they will end up encountering them, because now like they are just hearing about this story and Abe is writing this story down and he's surprised that he can remember so much. So it's like almost like a story within a story within a story, almost. And that is, again, like a little bit trippy. A lot of creepy details too, as well as the location, Dutchman's Creek. That's the place where Dan and Abe want to go fishing, but they hear from Howard that Dutchman's Creek is a little bit of a legend kind of place. Lots of people have lost their lives there. Well, he sees lots of people. I think it was like just over half a dozen, which is half a dozen more than you should. And he did say that's all the ones that he knows about. So there is like this mystique around this place, and I do really love the way that it is kind of unfolding, with building up the Fisherman as a scary legend, as well as the place itself. Lots of imagery about like lack of control as well that I'm actually very excited to talk about in the live show on Saturday. Things that I can like really go in depth with. But yeah, there was a specific dream where Abe dreams about his wife, and that was a really freaky dream, I will say. And I'm not usually a big fan of dreams, because I'm like, well, it's not really real, is it? It's not really real, but it seems like there's quite a few like messages and things to take from these dreams that should hopefully, again, like build to the legend of the Fisherman and add to the horror. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm really enjoying it. And I am about halfway through, like literally just like sitting here reading. Obviously, every time I read, my cats want cuddled or played with. So usually that does like affect things, but they are currently just looking outside now, seeing if there's any birds about that they can talk to. So that's pretty cute. I again have nothing else to do for the rest of the day, so I'm gonna go and finish this off. I had to change my top because I ended up slopping as I was eating my tea. Sometimes I think, how do I miss my massive mouth? But it happens. does happen. So I've just finished The Fisherman. It's like 10 o'clock at night now. I've literally just spent the day just reading this. And like I'm a little bit perplexed. And I'm not 100% sure what to make of the ending. And I think overall I did really enjoy this. I might end up giving it a 3.5 like I did with the Macabre. But I don't think I loved part 2. Part 3 was much better. I loved the fact that part 1 and part 3 followed like Abe and Dan. Like I wanted to follow them as my main characters, my main protagonists. I wanted to see how they tackled grief and how that lends to the horror of this novel. And I do think part 3 did tackle that really well, actually. Like there was actually some very good scenes and moments in part 3 that really gripped me. It was quite exciting and I wasn't sure what direction it was going to head in. This book was definitely way different to what I thought it was going to be going into it. It definitely had a lot more like urban legend to it, a little bit more fantasy as well, I want to say. A little bit like the Macabre as well. The Macabre had a lot of fantasy. This one did, but like not to the same extent. The whole legend of the Fisherman was definitely something that came across as quite fantastical, you know, but it had that really rich urban legend kind of feel to it, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, the end is just like maybe a little... I don't know. I don't know what to make of that ending. So it'll be really interesting to come to this live show on Saturday and find out what other people thought of it. Maybe I can get some more insights into it. I think it was like maybe a little bit abrupt. I don't know if, you know, there is some representation there of like tackling grief and maybe overcoming grief, but does it ever really leave you? I don't know what to make of it. There was also quite a bit of biblical imagery, you know, things to do with the flood, and even like Abe, like Abraham is quite a biblical name. And there are a few more biblical names that come up as well. I wonder if there is some sort of allusions to the Bible and things to do with that. I'm not that well versed with the Bible. I do know some of the stories from it, but I think maybe there could be some, you know, there was definitely some interesting moments in the like a confrontation in part 3 that I think you could maybe tie into. Was it like the first murder, maybe? I do think there are some parallels you can make there. So I do think this was amazingly written. I do think it was amazingly written. But at the end of the day, I don't think I liked part 2 all that much. While it was intriguing to begin with to have a little bit more lore when it comes to the Fisherman, I think so much of it was so... I think it just went on too long. It went on longer than it needed to. I think there was way more of an impactful way of telling us that entire part without the waffle. It could really cut a lot out. And I do give that criticism to Stephen King every now and then as well. I do think this is a very Stephen King coded kind of book when it comes to... And I don't think Stephen King was the first person to ever write long character backstories and to have that kind of meandering sort of story. I do think, though, that reading this, I did like it for the most part because I'm used to that kind of writing style. But part 2 was just a little bit painful for me. So yeah, I definitely can't give it... I was going to maybe give this a 4 to begin with. But I do think part 2 makes it kind of impossible for me to give it any higher than a 3.5. Some weird stuff happened. Some gross stuff happened. The imagery was on point. It was a really intriguing story. Love the urban legend feel of it. Overall, it was a great reading experience. Yeah, 3.5. I really do wish that it had been a 4-star though. I really do. And who knows, maybe after doing the live show on Saturday as well, maybe my rating might change because hearing a lot of people's thoughts and opinions and maybe get more clarification on things could sway me up or down. So we'll see if I change my rating. I would be so surprised if this was a traitor. The only reason why I think Steph would pick it as a traitor is if she wanted me to catch a traitor early and she was trying to be kind to me and she thought, oh, maybe Gavin has too much on his plate. I know he's definitely going to read this. Maybe she wants to catch me out early. Maybe she wants this to be a short episode. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't think she would have done that. But who knows? But yes, I am banishing you. I've read you. You are now off my TBR. You are complete. Let's see what you end up being. Are you, reveal to me, a faithful or a traitor? You have, and you will always be... I'm scared. I'm so scared. A faithful, oh my gosh. I mean, I am very happy about that. I will say I'm very happy about that. I was not ready for this episode to be over in 3 books. I really wasn't. Although that would be a record-breaking episode, if you ask me. That would have been so cool. That would have been so very cool. But like at the same time, I do want to get to more books of the TBR. So, you are faithful, you have been banished, I do apologise. That does mean that I now have to unhaul another book from my room. Okay, let the unhaul commence. What do we fancy unhauling today? Okay, I did kind of want to do a shelf where there's just like so much unread on there, because I would like to get my read percentages up for each shelf. So I would like to focus on a shelf that has a low percentage, and definitely a book that I do want to unhaul. I don't just want to unhaul for the sake of unhauling, of course, but I am also very aware of my shelves and their status and trying to improve the status of them. So what is a book that if it ever came up on a random generator, you know, on my spreadsheet, how I can do that? I did that in my previous Emboss or Toss episode. Which book would I be disappointed if it came up? Say, even a book that has bad reviews, I'm like, I might like it. I might like it, you just never know. Okay, I might go for If You Still Recognize Me by Cynthia So, only because I believe this is a young adult romance, and I kind of moved on from young adult, unless it's like a really captivating young adult horror or mystery or some kind of thriller. I do still like those, or young adult fantasy, but young adult romance is really not that much for me anymore. Oh, and unless it's Heartstopper as well. Okay, guys, right, this is random. This is totally random, but I've just uploaded a new profile picture on my dating apps, okay? I just got a notification. If you just hit a ding there, it's because I just got a notification. Listen to this. I might reply. Hi, I would like to have you as a friend send feet pictures to me and get $1,000 weekly allowance in return. No strings attached. I'm a feet. Literally, that's what it says. I'm a feet. I love to see feet pics. Are you interested? I mean, for $1,000 a week, I mean, I could be tempted. Sorry, that totally, it's the ding. It got me. It totally distracted me. I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, at least we know the new profile picture is working. I mean, it has great ratings online. Oh, and it's queer. A joyous, tender coming of age about queer identity, cultural inheritance, complicated families, found families that feel like a safe space, and the power of fandom. That is from it's from someone called Gabby, who I follow and have as a friend on Goodreads. Oh my god, I'm putting it back. Sorry, I'm putting that back. That sounds great. Oh, damn it. Now what do I do? Okay, I'm going to go with Where the Crawdads Sing instead by Delia Owens. I saw the movie years ago. It was fine. I think I picked this up when the movie came out or thereabouts, and I was interested in it. But yeah, I've seen the movie, which is terrible. Like, you should never just drop a book because you've seen the movie. Like, come on. Books are always superior. Well, most of the time anyway. But yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of this one. I don't think I have any interest in reading it anymore. But I was kind of holding out just in case, but no, I feel better about unhauling this one than I do If You Still Recognize Me, okay? So this is going to be the unhaul. I think next I'm going to pick up Witch Trial by Harriet Tyce. So if you do not know, Harriet Tyce was a contestant on season 4 of the UK Traitors, and she was a faithful, she was great, she had some really good standout moments in it, and I did already own a book by Harriet Tyce, It Ends at Midnight. I got that in the Abominable book box a couple of years ago, so that's still on my TBR, and I was going to pick that one, but I ended up going for the newest Harriet Tyce book. This only came out, I think, about a couple of months ago, or maybe just a month ago, and I pre-ordered it, and it's signed, and I'm very excited to get to it. And yeah, this is a thriller. 2 girls accused of murder, a defense like no other. So this one, I believe, is set in Edinburgh, and the body of an 18-year-old is discovered, and this 18-year-old had 2 best friends, and both of those best friends are arrested. There is also a guy called Matthew Phillips. He is a heart surgeon, and he is called to jury duty on this trial, and I think some like shocking things are revealed during the trial. There is a chilling defense no one saw coming. He begins to question everything, the motives, the evidence, even his own judgment. Let the witch trial begin. It sounds so good. I am very excited to give it a read. I mean, I'm kind of secretly hoping this is a faithful to match Harriet being a faithful in the show, and also to just like continue our TBR Traitors episode 2 and read more of this exciting TBR. I don't want it to be over yet. I want this to be a faithful. I do. I don't want to catch another traitor just yet. I don't. So I feel a little bit safe thinking that this is a faithful.
fingers at everyone else, but sooner or later it lands on myself. My mistakes have made mistakes of their own. Doubling down like it's second nature. I beat you to it. I was my favorite hater, but I'm tired. Now I'm flirting with hope. I was the king of pain. I always found a new way to complain. And they say, when you're gonna change, honey, when you're gonna face it, why you gonna waste it? I'm sorry to myself for lying in the mirror, saying, no, this is love. For lying in the mirror, pouring salt in the cut. I'm sorry to myself for doing your number, saying no tough enough, for buying what you sell. I'm sorry to myself. It's funny how the world looks in a pink cloud. I'm glowing from the inside and laughing out loud when the rain hits. Yeah, don't forget this. I was the king of pain. I always found a new way to complain. And they say, when you're gonna change, honey, when you're gonna face it, why you gonna waste it? I'm sorry to myself for lying in the mirror, saying, no, this is love. For lying in the mirror, pouring salt in the cut. I'm sorry to myself for doing your number, saying no tough enough, for buying what you sell. I'm sorry to myself. Sorry for the starving, sorry for the burnout, sorry for that one ex who always broke me down. Sorry for the hurting, but love how it turned out.
I have been reading this for the last 2.5 hours and I'm already at page 245. Like, has it even been 3 hours? I think it was like 11-ish. It's now to 2. So like 3 hours, yeah, for 3 hours I've been reading. I can't put this down, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to put it down for just a little bit. One, to give you my thoughts on this so far. And two, right, I don't know if maybe I'm looking too deeply into this, but I mean, you know, we have had my neighbour drama like a couple of years ago now, but the neighbours 2 doors down, they're really nice people, and they're a couple, they do night shifts, and they gave me a Christmas card this year, I gave them a Christmas card, and I haven't really spoken to them that much, but, right, and I don't know maybe if like this is rubbing off on me or like any other kind of like crime thing I've consumed, but the bins were emptied a couple of days ago, like the bin men came for our bins, and their bin is still out. It's like blown over in front of their car, and it blew over the other day because it was so windy, and I was going to bring it in for them, but there's a part of me that's like, why haven't they come out of their house in 2 days? Why have they not brought their bin in? And I think maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm like, has something happened? Because surely they would have moved that bin to get the car out so that they can go to work. But it's been 2 days. It has literally been 2 days. I mean, it was Good Friday yesterday, and maybe they're off, you know, over the Easter weekend, potentially. But still, I'm like, surely they would have brought their bin in. It was so windy the other day, and it's blown over. It's in front of their car. So I could still bring it in for them. But at the same time, I'm using it as a way to find out if they're still alive. Which I know sounds really dramatic. But, like, I'm reading stuff like this. So, of course, I'm feeling a little bit dramatic. But yeah, I have been loving this so much. And I have made a coffee at 2 p.m. even though it probably will keep me awake quite late. But I do have my book club for The Fisherman on Kayla's channel in just under 4 hours. So I am taking a little break so that I can reconvene with my notes and write my notes down for The Fisherman, really think it through and know what I'm coming to the live show prepared to talk about. So I'm going to do that for the next few hours and then come back to it to try and finish it tonight. So if I'm up a little bit later because of the caffeine, I don't care. But this has been so engrossing. This is mostly set in a courtroom. However, because the witnesses on the stand are talking about the story and talking about what they've seen and all of that, like, you do get transported to the things that have happened. And it has been so freaking interesting because it ties into, you know, things to do with the occult, things to do with witchcraft, and these girls who are now on trial for the murder of, you know, one of their classmates. They are intricately linked into things to do with witchcraft and rituals. And we had mentions of the craft, and I was like, okay, taste, mentions of the devil. And I will say big trigger warnings for like animal cruelty and animal death. Like, I was predominantly reading this in the living room, and I had Ash on me for most of it, and I had to cover his ears, even though he couldn't hear, or I wasn't even like reading out loud or anything, but like he couldn't hear. I still had to cover his ears because it was a little bit graphic. There was a couple of graphic things, but that's what I really do love about this book. It's not shying away from the evidence, and you're getting to see as if I'm also part of the jury, which I've never done jury duty. This is making me really intrigued about it, and the whole aspect of what you do as a person, how you can process what you're being told, and it's such a legal setting. So like, how do you approach that? And Matthew, who is predominantly our main character, we do get like the thoughts and things of some of the people who come to the stand, but like Matthew, our main point of view character, we're following a lot of him. He's very interesting, even outside of the actual case. And like, he is a heart surgeon, and just some of the things that he said, like, I don't want to say too much about it, but like, he is intriguing me. Like, there's some things about him that don't really sit too right with me. I do think he's dealing with some stuff, and you can tell this case is also changing him. The more he's finding out about it, the more we get his opinions on it as well, what he deems as nonsense and stuff like that. Like, it is incredibly intriguing. So honestly, hats off to Harriet Tyce for being able to write something that is keeping me gripped despite the setting of it being predominantly a courtroom kind of drama, which I didn't think would typically be my kind of thing. Like, one of my least favorite episodes of Charmed is the episode where Phoebe does jury duty. So you know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't sure 100%. I picked this up from Waterstones. I pre-ordered this from Waterstones, one, because of the trailers, and two, it does sound really good, and I love anything to do with witches. So I thought, yeah, I would enjoy this, but I didn't realize like how much I would enjoy it. I didn't realize how gripped I would be from the stories that the like witnesses are saying, and you know, things like that. It's just really, really gripping. And I'm just sitting there reading, and I'm like, I don't really want to stop. I could easily just continue reading and just not stop. It's highly bingeable, and it's something that even now I can't really predict where it's actually going, because we've kind of taken some turns in the case and we're learning a little bit more about it. I'm like, okay, but like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? Like, how are we going to get to a conclusion with this? It's not very apparent to me right now. It's put me a little bit on edge, because I'm like, anything could happen in the next chapter. Anything could be revealed next too. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. And it isn't really just like Matthew as well, who is the juror, but like a couple of the other jurors, especially one. There's another person on the jury who has piqued my interest too. Like, they also seem a little bit odd. Let's just say, like, a few people feel odd. Oh, and just hearing about the victim as well, and that visual of how she was found and what was around her at that time as well. I mean, it's on the cover here, but we do have a crow. The person who found the body, this is very early on, says, "It was the birds, I think, they were freaking me out." What about the birds? There were about 10 crows stood around her. They weren't moving, just standing there looking at her. I looked up and the branches were full of crows. And it does mention, like, the birds. And I love the birds. And I love the terrifying idea of birds just watching and waiting. They do scare me. And so to hear that from the very first sort of witness was definitely something that stuck with me. And it was like, oh, okay, this is going to be the tone of the book. It's going to be a little bit odd, a little bit strange. And it's not going to be as straightforward as we think it's going to be, because it's set in such a straightforward kind of place. You know, it's a courtroom, everything's official, and it's the law and stuff like that. So you think it's going to be a straightforward kind of case, but there's actually been like lots to do with the devil as well. Oh my God, there was a line and I was like, well, how do I join this coven? Yeah, it's when the psychiatrist is talking, and one of the suspects has gone to this psychiatrist, and they've mentioned things about the devil and stuff. Then he turned round and bent over, presenting her with his anus, which he invited her to kiss. And you know what? The amount of times that the smell of shit has been brought up as well, like, some of it is just, like, unflinching. It is just unflinching. I can tell the author is not holding back on anything. There is no pussyfooting around. It's just an intense read. It's intense and it's good, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, very excited to finish this and see where it goes and see how it ends. But I really should be preparing for this book club. And I do have some like email stuff to go through as well. So that's my little bit of maintenance. It is just going to be a very chill, low stakes kind of Saturday. I'm not leaving the house. I'm not going to the gym. I'm going to my mum's tomorrow for Sunday dinner. So that's going to be really nice. And so I guess today I'm just like, I don't really want to go anywhere. I don't really want to do anything. I just want to surround myself with books and reading today and talking about books with the book club later. I don't have to leave the house every day of the week. Thank God. When I did film a tier ranking video of all the Agatha Christie books that I've read so far. I filmed that yesterday. It's up for early access at the minute. I'm planning on posting it on Tuesday. I wasn't really going to do another video between the worst books, Jan's worst books video that I just posted yesterday and this one, TBR Traitors episode 2. I wasn't really going to post anything, but I just had time yesterday and I was like, I'm really itching to do something to do with Agatha Christie because I didn't realise that my Agatha Christie video would pop off the way it did a couple of months ago because I took such a long break from doing Agatha Christie videos. It kind of took me by surprise. So I thought, oh, let's do a little tier ranking video. Let's talk about the 17 books that I've read so far of Agatha Christie's and all that. So I filmed that yesterday. It was actually pretty fun to do, and even editing it as well was pretty fun. And yeah, I managed to get that done, so I felt very productive. Didn't read anything yesterday, so that's why I feel like I'm making up for it today. And I think I've spent about 50 plus hours on Pocopia. I do, I think I have. And I'm scared to look at my Nintendo profile to see if I have. So I'm staying away from it. And I'll reward myself tonight after the book club and after finishing Witch Trial with some more Pocopia. I'm trying not to show too much of it in these vlogs because I know I went hard on it in the Slice of Life vlog I did recently and a little bit in the Jan's Worst Books vlog as well. So I'm trying to pace myself and not bombard you with the Pocopia stuff. But things are moving along smoothly and I'm still loving it.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Literally Dead Book Club live show for March. We read The Fisherman by John Langan. If everybody wants to put a little emoji, once you're done, Gavin can roll right into the synopsis for The Fisherman.
If I even read it, how do you know I read it?
Okay. Gavin suggested he might come here not having read it as an experiment.
Yeah, to see if anyone would notice I hadn't read it. I will do it one day.
If I was asked to do the synopsis instead of Gavin, I would have said like Brokeback Mountain with like less sex and more biblical fish. Like
I mean, there is sex, but it's sex with it.
Yeah.
All right.
On page 2, he says, some things are so bad that just to have been near them taints you. Leaves a spot of badness in your soul like a bare patch in the forest.
My favorite quote is on page 59. It is, Dan's mouth crashed into mine as we explode each other's bodies.
No!
That live show talking about The Fisherman was so fun. And that was McKenna's first ever live show as well. I'm so proud of her. She did amazing. And it was just so funny. Like, so many laughs. And we spoke so well about that book as well. We went pretty in-depth with it, in my humble opinion. And then when I look back on my spoiler-free review in this vlog, I'm like, it's so hard, isn't it, to speak about a book spoiler-free? Because I feel like I probably didn't give that good of a review in this vlog, but we talked about it for so long in the live show, and there was so much to say that I'm just like a little bit disappointed with my review in this vlog. I need to try and figure out a better way of doing spoiler-free reviews while still having like a lot of in-depth discussions about them, because yeah, I just had so much fun during that Fisherman live show, and I would totally urge you to check it out in full if you want. I do have the link to the live show down in the description box. It is now 10 p.m. and I have just finished Witch Trial by Harriet Tyce. I could have finished this like hours upon hours ago, but I'm so glad I had like that little break in the middle, because I was like, I'm reading this too fast, I need to slow myself down. And it continued to be such a bingeable book by the end too. I really didn't want to stop, and then suddenly it was over. So that was like a really pleasant reading experience, and I loved it because there was a specific classic that was mentioned that I studied at university, and it's called The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner by James Hogg. And I was actually wanting to like reread that maybe end of last year, and I can't find my copy of it. So I'm gonna have to say I can find it at my mum's. I'm going to hers tomorrow for dinner, so maybe I will find it there. But I'm kind of unsure if I got rid of it or not. I hope not, because I had it annotated. But there was definitely a little bit of that in this, and I love the fact that it was mentioned and directly like referenced. It was such a good little nod. It just made some things make some more sense as well. I do feel like this was like very well researched, and it kept that momentum for me personally, and I really enjoyed it like so much. I'm going to give it a 4.5. Definitely my favorite of the vlog so far. So this definitely can't be a traitor, since like every time I find a traitor, it's usually a book I didn't like. So this can't be a traitor. This is going to be faithful. And I am absolutely fine with that, honestly, because I have so many books on this TBR that I'm so desperate to get to. I probably did like love the start of this more than the end, just because I love the imagery and I love those visuals. And like, it was still like a really bizarre kind of case, and there was definitely some shocking things that came out about it. But yeah, I just loved the sort of more like horror leading kind of start of this story, whereas the second half of this kind of was a little bit more psychological, and it was just, it was riveting. It was riveting, absolutely riveting. I don't really have like anything bad to say about it, really, just that I prefer the like more horror aspects of the details of the case that happened in the first, I want to say like 100 to 150 pages, but it was still a winner chicken dinner. And I do still have It Ends at Midnight still to read on my physical TBR, so that's not in this video, but I will like to prioritize that for maybe a future reading vlog, now that I've already read one book from this author now, and I know I like their writing. So let's head on over to the round table. This is a very tall hardback. It's gonna have to go in front of Bridgerton. So the reason I picked Witch Trial, I don't think it's a traitor, but I'm banishing Witch Trial. So do I think Steph would have made the book a traitor? And Ash is currently licking the dressing gown. Ash, what are you doing licking my dressing gown for? Do you think that's hygienic? It's time to find out if the book is a faithful or a traitor. I'm sure it's a faithful. I'm sure it's a faithful. I won't be disappointed if it is. Sometimes we do just have to get the faithfuls out, you know, just to whittle the numbers down so that it's more likely to get the traitors there. At least that's my excuse. That's my excuse. Oh my god. Okay, right. Witch Trial. I can reveal Witch Trial is a faithful. I knew it. I'm not disappointed. Okay. It's fine. The vlog will go on. And what is that, book number 4 now? So with me reading the next book, I've definitely matched the first episode because I read 5 books for the first episode. So we're going to see if I will end up reading more books in this one. We'll see what I end up choosing next. I'm not 100% sure what. I could do a challenge. I can do a challenge now that I've gotten 2 faithfuls out in a row. I can ask Steph for a hint for the last traitor. I'm hoping it's not too obvious a hint. Like, well, that's assuming that I complete the challenge. I didn't complete the challenge in the first episode. Let's see. I mean, I can ask her if she thinks the hint would give away too much. And if it does, then we're just doing the challenge for vibes. I'm still working out the kinks of the series. This is only episode 2. Again, if you have any suggestions for what I can get in reward, because again, I don't want the hints to be too obvious. I don't want to ruin it for myself, you know what I mean? I've decided, and this is silly, but like I don't have the energy to do a physical challenge right now. But what I do have the energy for is Bean Boozled. I couldn't do Bean Boozled again. I bought this when I went to the haunted school last year, and I had to eat 3 or more good flavors to win the challenge. But if I ate 3 or more bad flavors, then I'd lose the challenge. So we need to get 3 good flavors, and I already have my water ready because, oh my god, this is going to be absolutely freaking vile. Absolutely vile. So Bean Boozled does have a lot of good flavors, but bad flavors. It has like liver and onions, rotten egg, barf, booger, stinky socks, old bandage, which is honestly absolutely disgusting. All bandages are the worst. Stink bug, dirty dishwater, dead fish. Dirty dishwater is also absolutely vile. I mean, all of them are vile, but there's some good ones like berry blue, toasted marshmallow, birthday cake, buttered popcorn, peach, juicy pear, you know, things like that. I'm really hoping for the good flavours. I really am. Okay. I've shaken it. And how do I do this again? I'll pull it up, don't I? I think I pull it up. So I do. Oh, I do. No, it's a brown one. I'm pretty sure I got like loads of brown ones in the first one. Oh my god, liver and onions and cappuccino. I'm pretty sure I was constantly getting the freaking liver and onions. Oh no. Oh, I need, you know what? I need something. I need something to spit it out into in case it's bad. Hang on. I know it's vile, but don't worry. I'll cut out all the bad mouth sounds. Don't you worry. Okay, I've got a hand towel that needs to go in the wash anyway, so. Alright, this is what I think I'm gonna end up spitting all about, I swear. And it's going against my nature not to swallow. Anyway, here we go. Ah. Oh, damn it. Oh, yeah, that was fucking vile. That was the liver and onions. Oh, you dirty bastard. Right, well, failed the first one. Come on, be a good one. Don't be brown as well. I'm sick of the brown ones. It is as well. It's literally a brown one. I'm putting it back. I'm sorry, but that's not making good television. All right, surely this time, if it's brown. Oh, I got 2 of this color, so I'll just have one of them. Oh my god, one of them's probably the good flavor, one of them's the bad flavor. All right, I'm just gonna go for this one, please. I don't even know what flavor it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. That took a while. I was so unsure to begin with. That's definitely not the strawberry one. I couldn't quite tell because I am a fan of fish. And hey, I literally just read The Fisherman and did a live show about it, so maybe that was divine fate. I'm putting that one back. All right, come on, oh my god, be a good flavor. Be a good flavor, please. Come on, we gotta get back in the game. We gotta get back in the game. Put it in. A shake. Come on, be good, be good. Blue. Blue. Oh, this is either going to be toothpaste or berry blue, which I love both those flavors, so this is good. This is a good flavor. Yeah, it's toothpaste again. I was getting these constantly in my haunted school video as well. There's no variety. Okay, 2 more good flavors, and then I can ask for a hint. Oh, just don't be. Which one did I not like again? Don't be the bandage, please, and don't be the dishwater. Oh, freaking hell! They just jump out. It's like an orangey color. I literally have no idea. So let's just put it in our mouths. Peach. One more flavor, come on. Come on. Let's wrap this up. Is that another orange? No, it's the one that could either be the dead fish or the banana smoothie. Oh my god, don't be the dead fish again. Please don't be the dead fish again. Oh, okay, so I again didn't complete the challenge. So I can't ask for a hint, but I'm sure I will be able to ask for a hint again. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I've got another challenge in me in this vlog. If not, episode 3. So again, leave your suggestions for like the hint thing to make sure I don't get it spoiled. But anyway, yeah, I guess I can just go ahead and pick my next read. Since I am going to my mum's for a few hours, I won't have a chance to read for that long. So I thought I'll go for the manhwa tomorrow, since I'll be able to start and finish this tomorrow. Our Sunny Days Volume 1. This one is about Sung-ho. And he wants to settle down in the Korean countryside. He's in his 20s, been serving in the military, but he's also a single father to a baby girl his ex-girlfriend suddenly pawned off on him. Bless him. He then ends up meeting a local who he butts heads with called Kwon. And this person turns out to be the head of the village. However, I do believe romantic sparks fly between those two. And it just sounds so good. And I know my friend Stainen mentioned this a good few months ago, and it's only just come out, so I am going to give it a read. It looks so cute. It looks so genuinely cute. We honestly do need some gayness in our lives right now. I almost forgot that I do have to unhaul a book after banishing a faithful, and I've decided that I'm going to unhaul The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagone. I got this 5 years ago, and I was just looking at my shelves, actually struggling to see what I would want to get rid of. And my eyes just kind of wandered to this one on the shelf that it was on. And I was just like, if I had to read you this week, I don't think I would be happy with it. That's what I went with. And then I read the back, and I don't think it's really going to be a story for me anymore. So I do think I'm going to give up the ghost on this one and unhaul it. It is my third unhaul in this video. My babies both lying on the dressing gown in my library room. Oh gosh, oh, that was a big yawn. Are we ready for bed? I think we are. Although I think you both were already asleep and I've just disturbed you both. God, I love you. 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 This was so adorable and so cute in all of the synonyms for that word, because seeing a guy, and especially a hot single dad, the way that he is with his child is the cutest thing in the world. This is not a steamy read. It does have like a explicit content warning on the back. There is one like ass shot, but like nothing spicy happens. And it's like very slow burn. This is not the first boy love manhwa that I've ever read. Usually there is explicit material by chapter 2. This one is 12 chapters long and nothing has really happened. There's been maybe like a little, and it's like slow burn. It feels slow burn compared to other manhwas that I've read. So yeah, Sung Ho is the one who was moved to this town. And the way he is with his baby, the way he is with his child, the way that he will forego having like luxuries and stuff just to get his baby like baby clothes. And he's the most wonderful dad. He's so adorable. It really helps that he's just like such a generally nice person. And this felt very like slice of life as he is kind of navigating this new place. And the house that he has now, it was kind of left for a while, and it has this garden kind of field, and it needs to be like weeded and stuff like that, so it feels a little bit slice of life. But yeah, he meets Kwon, and Kwon is the head of the village, and oh, he's so hot. He is so hot. Both of them are so freaking hot, and you can tell they're both like really falling for one another, even though they get off on the wrong foot, because Sung doesn't like Kwon to begin with, because Kwon, he can come across as a little bit prickly. They don't get off on the right foot. But the way that Kwon just so quickly, with his child as well, he's just like, you know, I do need to help out, don't I? Like, I do have to step in, I do have to help. But he still has that persona where he does rub Sung up the wrong way. It is the most perfect kind of dynamic and balance between the two characters. Seeing them slowly start to notice the positive qualities in one another, as well as this really cute ass baby that's just like there, and I'm just, oh, like I can't take it. I can't handle it. It's so freaking adorable. I need volume 2 start. There is an advertisement for volume 2 at the end. Volume 2 coming soon. I need it. I do think this is like a webtoon or like webcomic. I think you can read more chapters online, but I will wait for the physical releases as always. It's been so wonderful just getting to know each of them very slowly. Like, they haven't had like the best of lives, and it's nice to see them kind of talk a little bit about it, so it adds a little bit more humanity to them. And I will say, I'm giving it a 4.5, so it's not like completely a 5-star. There is something that's like the timeline is a little bit weird, and that's to do with Kwon's mother. So I'll not say anything more about that, but there was like something about like a timeline thing that I think didn't quite add up. Either way, like I probably read too much into it, or I've taken it the wrong way or something. But other than that, it has been pretty wonderful. It's just, oh, I could definitely see myself just reading this so casually, so slow going, but I need it to be faster because I want to say more, but like I don't at the same time. I'm enjoying the slowness of it. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about it, just that it was beautiful. The characters, I already feel myself falling in love with them. I'm rooting for them. I want to be with both of them. Like, honestly, the single life. Reading stuff like this really does make me feel 25% more single. Okay, the lighting is not perfect for the round table, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter because we have banished our sunny days. We have voted you off, and I didn't read you because I thought you'd be a traitor. I read you because I needed a nice short read for Easter Sunday, and that's exactly what it was, and it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But it is time to say goodbye, unfortunately, and to find out whether or not you were a faithful or a traitor. So let's find out together. It would be the biggest shock if Steph made Our Sunny Days a traitor. It actually would. I don't think she would make like the quickest read on my TBR a traitor. I don't think so. But anyway, reveal to me, are you a faithful or are you a traitor? Our Sunny Days is a faithful. Yep, we got that. Not surprised whatsoever. As I said, I wasn't expecting to be a traitor, but now I kind of am wanting to catch a traitor. I mean, I would still like to get to all the books on my TBR, absolutely, but I don't want to fail. I don't want to actually read 10 books in one video. Now we have actually beaten the record. I have read 5 books now, so we're definitely going to read a 6th one, and that's beaten the first episode. So that is a win. I'm very happy about that. But since Our Sunny Days was a faithful, it is time to unhaul a book in this room. Okay, this might actually hurt a fair bit, but I did soft DNF this last year, and I've been holding on to it because I thought maybe, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. And that's The Fragile Threads of Power by V.A. Schwab. I don't really think I'm going to be gravitating towards more Schwab books, apart from the ones that are already on my TBR. And this one is part of the Shades of Magic series. I really enjoyed the Shades of Magic series when I first read them years ago, and I just could not get into this one. I feel like I would have to reread those to really get into this, and I don't really want to do that. So I have given this one a chance. I do think it's time to say goodbye. It does kill me a little bit. This was the Forbidden Planet edition. So it is beautiful, but like just looking at it, I don't think I have it in me to give it another try. I really don't. So we are going to say goodbye before we try again. I do think next I'm going to go for We Are Legion, We Are Bob by Dennis A. Taylor. This will be the next book that I read for TBR Traitors. I did find this one out from Steph. Steph read it in a vlog and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to get it too. So that's what happened. That's why it's on my TBR. And it looks so good. I've heard doing a tandem read of this and the audiobook is a fantastic experience. A little bit like Dungeon Crawler Call-esque. But this one, I believe, follows a man who is wanting to get cryogenically frozen. And he has an accident on his way after that appointment. And his body does end up getting frozen, but I think just his head. And then years and years later, he is awoken. Yeah, he's killed at a crossing. And a century later, Bob wakes up. It seems very topical as well. America is run by an extremist government that stripped his rights as a frozen head, uploaded his consciousness into an AI, and selected him to search space for habitable planets as a self-replicating von Neumann probe. It's not ideal, but if he declines, he'll be switched off for good. It sounds very, very topical. So I am going to do this one next. I am hoping to have a little bit of a fun read with this one too. I have heard it can be quite funny and it's part of the Bobiverse, or yeah, Bobiverse, which sounds a little bit dumb, but I'm here for dumb fun. And I've had a couple of books so close to getting a 5-star so far as well. I would love for this to get a 5-star.
I stumble and I can't get up, fall into the song. This time I think I had enough. I'm drowning in doubt. Lights fading, but I'm holding on. I can't escape the fall this time. It's enough. Pushing back every step I take, fighting myself with every break. Feel like I'm cutting the undertow. You thought you had me hooked, but I'm on the track. I'm doubting the drama, but don't you go back.
I have decided on this fine Easter Monday to do some impromptu public sprints. I do like doing public sprints more when I don't have a game plan for them and when I don't know in advance that I'm doing them. I know that's not ideal for everyone because you guys have lives, but I just want to go with the flow today. I really do. And I was just sitting in the kitchen. I was starting to build my Harada Lego. And I got halfway through the second bag and I was like, I'm going to be doing this all day. And I'm just going to be listening to the audiobook of We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And I'm just like, I could do some really chill public reading sprints. Why not? So that's what I'm doing. I'm all set up for it. They'll start in 15 minutes. But I thought I would give you an update on We Are Legion, We Are Bob. I am on page 118. I am reading this with the audiobook, so I'm able to do my Lego as I'm reading this. And it is so good so far. I am really enjoying it. It does have those kinds of similar vibes to Dungeon Crawl, and that's my washing. Yeah, I'm also doing my washing today. So now I'm going to have to take that out. 2 seconds. Right, I'm going to put those in the dryer in just a second. I better make this quick. So yes, I'm doing lots of houseworky stuff today, so I thought let's do sprints in the background. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It does have those kind of similar-ish vibes to Dungeon Crawler Call, except this is not lit RPG. But it is a little bit bonkers. I love this line on the first page where Bob is being told like what this corporation does. And Bob says, that's just insane enough to be true. And I think that's summing up this book to a T so far. Like, from what I've read, it's summing it up to a T. So, first chapter, everything that is pretty much said in the summary happens in the first chapter. And then the second chapter is just like a Q&A kind of thing. Bob is asking loads of questions. He's getting loads of answers back. Although, a lot of the answers, I'm like, I don't know if I fully 100% trust everything that Bob is getting told, especially since we are now like 100 years in the future and times have changed, like things have changed, and I don't know what to believe when it comes to history. Very true to real life. You know, sometimes we have been told history and it could be wrong. It totally depends on who is actually writing the history books. So I love the kind of little exploration of that and like some of the doubt that Bob has as well. Bob is, because he's just like ahead, but he's also like this AI and he's talking about data and stuff he can't really feel, and it feels like an absolute nightmare, even though Bob is actually enjoying himself. It feels like an actual nightmare. He's saying that he can't really feel grief. You know, he's supposed to, but he can't really feel it right now because of the way he is. And it's such a weird kind of claustrophobic kind of thing. But Bob is looking at the bright side, which I do like about Bob. He's definitely a lot more optimistic than I am when it comes to what's happening to him. Definitely very interesting, the plot that we're following now. There is the idea that Bob is being... Well, there is a question. Who is Bob? Who is Bob now? And is he just a copy of a copy? Does he still retain that humanity that he once had? Some questions about life as well. Like, could he actually say that he is actually alive just based on the definition of the word, and even like people's real life interpretation of what something is alive means? I wasn't the same Bob who got killed by a car. Did I have a soul? Did it matter if I was restored from a backup? Who was I? Was I Bob, or was Bob dead? Bob was a person, and a person was a history, a set of desires, thoughts, goals, and opinions. They were going to like the root of who Bob is, like who a person is. And these are like really fun questions to have, because I feel like even though I'm not a cryogenically frozen head that has come back 100 years later, there are still like lots of very human emotions that you can feel even if you have been turned into this unimaginable thing. And yeah, I feel like these are the kinds of lessons and feelings that I still have to like myself as a regular head, body, arms, legs kind of person. And I do like some of the humor in this as well. It's sometimes like Bob has to stop himself from using like human humor kind of thing, sort of like, oh, I pulled my finger out of my, and then like ... like he doesn't have an ass, you know what I mean? It's just like things like that just make me chuckle. And the audiobook's been really good too. I've been really enjoying the audiobook. Definitely a lot more hard sci-fi now that I am over 100 pages in. So I am very excited to be able to fully concentrate on the second half of this book as I'm doing sprints and doing my Lego and doing the washing. You know, very mindless housework, very mindless kind of like hobby kind of things. And then of course, like I'll have my social interactions today, because I was supposed to have training today at 10:30, but my trainer was out last night and got a little bit drunk. So we're not doing training today. I'm waiting until Wednesday. So I'm having a day off. And it's just been so lovely so far. Like the sun is shining. My cats are sleeping. So I don't know if you could see Ash. He's in the little thingy-mabobby there. So yeah, it's going to be a good day. Sprints are going strong still. And this is my current progress with Harada. What time is it now? It's like 6:30 p.m. I started sprints at 12. So I've been live for 6.5 hours. And I started this all like 8 hours ago, and this is all I've pretty much done. But it's fine because I'm taking my time with it. I want to do it all all week long pretty much. I'll just tackle it a step at a time. But I think it's starting to look like really good. And I'm loving the colours on this so much. So that's been really fun to do while like sprinting and listening to We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And I've also almost finished my laundry as well. It's been such an adult kind of day, while also doing all the childish things I love, like Lego. It's been great, a great mix. Anyway, I have finished We Are Legion, We Are Bob, and I'm going to give this one a 3.5. I do think it's very good, and it definitely was not what I was expecting by the latter half of this. It felt a little bit fragmented once we've gotten past like the initial concept, and when Bob goes off to do like all the things he does, it's very intergalactic. He says quite a lot because Bob does come across quite a lot of things, and like with how the world has changed in the last 100 years, and he sees a planet up close, and he's like, I've never seen a planet this close before. You know, like there's loads of things that really works in this book's favor. I really do feel like the imagination and the scope of this book, it definitely transcends just the one book. I'm very excited to get to book 2 and to continue the plot line forward. I can't 100% say I love the characters all that much. I do think Bob is quite funny, and I am glad I listened to the audiobook as well, because sometimes the audiobook narrator will say something that was like written in the book, but it kind of would have went over my head if I just read it with my eyeballs and not listened to it. Like for example, there is a Simpsons joke where he goes, excellent. And you know, I kind of would have probably like not realized that, which is like just like one very tiny, minute example. But I really do feel like this is one of those stories, again, like Dungeon Crawler Call, where the listening of the audiobook helps with the reading experience overall. So yeah, this is nothing like Dungeon Crawler Call in my opinion. This is actually more like Operation Bounce House, with what it's like kind of trying to say about humanity and war, because so much has happened. Like something has happened to Earth, and one of the things that we need to try and find out is if anyone really survived. And it breaks my heart that it is very apparent that our legacy as humans is war. Like I feel like that's just, you know, thousands of years from now, this is what we're going to be remembered for, is war, in carnage, in brutality against our fellow man. You know, so all of these things are things that I feel like, well, the book doesn't exactly like talk too much about, but there are like brushings of it, and it does have elements of that with like what is being talked about. But it definitely reminded me way more of Operation Bounce House than like say Dungeon Crawler Call. So if you're looking for something a little bit similar, definitely more sci-fi heavy than I was kind of expecting, even though like just look at the freaking cover. Like, come on, how do you not know? But like just judging from the initial synopsis and premise, it went a little bit above and beyond. I will say that, went above and beyond. So this is now book number 6 done. Let's go to the round table. I don't want to delay this any longer. Oh my god, like the sun is literally coming through. Hopefully the sun is shining down on me. Maybe and hopefully we found a traitor amongst us. But I have banished We Are Legion, We Are Bob from my TBR. You have been read. Now please reveal to me whether or not you are faithful or a traitor. That sun is really sunning right now. And I did read it based off of Steph's recommendation. So did Steph make this a traitor? Oh, let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, okay. We Are Legion, We Are Legion. Okay, okay. I know I do want to read the other books in this TBR, absolutely. And I will definitely get them again, but like part of me is like, I don't want to lose. I don't want the last book to be the traitor. I want to be able to find it. Like the competitive side of me is really starting to come out now. I'm starting to get worried and concerned. Right. We can reveal that We Are Legion, We Are Bob is a faithful. Okay, like I'm a little bit disappointed. Damn it. It's fine though. It's absolutely fine though. It does mean we have to consider what Steph would have made a freaking traitor. I do need to do another unhaul. I can't do another challenge, but I am currently on reading sprints right now, so I'll not do it now. Plan of action is Automatic Noodle was the traitor, okay? And I think she might have picked that one because she thought I wouldn't get to it, because I didn't get to it in the first episode. So with that kind of logic, what other book do I think that Steph thinks I wouldn't get to in this video? If this is the kind of tactics, the kind of dirty tactics that Steph is going to be using. You know, part of me thinks that maybe she made Dinner at the Night Library a traitor, because I know Jade read this and wasn't a big fan. So she might have thought that that put me off reading it. So she might think I'm going to save it for last in this vlog. Do I think she would have made Guillotine A traitor, I think it's a really short one. I don't know if she would, to be honest, because she made Automatic Noodle one. That was a novella. So would she make 2 novellas a traitor? I don't think so. So I think it's maybe safe to say that Guillotine is not a traitor, but I might be eating my words. She may think Vigil. I may not actually ever get to Vigil. It is a shorty patootie. She may have took one look at this and thought, Gavin, that's not really for you. Come on. And then my husband's wife. I don't know why she would make this a traitor. I just said I want a 5-star thriller. I don't know. And there was a witch trial, which was another kind of like mystery thriller as well. And that was a faithful, so maybe this could be the traitor. Okay, I'm kind of torn. I think she might have made one of these a traitor. I think I might go for dinner at the Night Library next. I wonder if I could unhaul one of the books that's on my TBR for TBR Traitors. And then just find out if it's a faithful or a traitor. I'd be like, well, it's off my... I could literally just banish all the other ones off my TBR right now. If I banish them, I'll find out. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But I'm very tempted. This might take me a while again because I just don't feel like I have... Actually, A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. This does not really look like it's going to be for me, to be quite honest. Got this in, Fairy Loot box. Maybe... Yeah, it's a young adult. January 2024. I've had this for over 2 years. And I cancelled my Fairy Loot Young Adult box. I still keep my Fairy Loot Epic Fantasy box because I love that box. But I think I just don't think a lot of young adult is really that much for me. I mean, I do still like young adult fantasy every now and then, but this looks like very romance heavy as well. And the main character is called Neve, and it's spelled the exact same way as my niece. And I do not really want to picture that. Yeah, she's drawn to a cold, prickly prince. I don't think I care. So yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this one, actually. I thought that was going to be harder than it was going to be, but I looked at it. As soon as we made eye contact, I was like, you're the one who's going to bugger off. So yeah, I still need to do a challenge to hopefully get a hint from Steph. But the thing is, though, Steph doesn't know if I've found a traitor yet or not, unless she follows my story graph, which I don't think she does. Then she could give me a hint for a traitor that I've already caught. She could be like, oh, it's a novella that features robots. Like, that could be, I doubt that would be the hint. But see, that's why getting a hint might not actually help, because Steph is unaware of my progress. She could give me the wrong hint. Okay, so this next challenge is going to be me throwing these big balls into those big red cups. And I have done this challenge before. I did it in my Haunted Castle series. And look, I don't really know that many more creative things I can possibly do right now to get a freaking hint. I just want a hint. I just want a hint. So I've got 4 minutes on the clock. This might be a little bit easy, but I don't care. I'll move it a little bit further back so I'm more like in the living room, sort of. And yeah, so we'll start the timer. And I need to get all of these in 4 minutes. Is that a good compromise? I don't know. Maybe that's impossible. Maybe it's easy. Well, let's just go for it. Okay, so 4 minutes. Here we go. Go. I was like, oh, this is going to be so easy. I couldn't even get the first 2 in. But that's what she said. Okay. Oh my god. I am actually... Okay, I got one. I am actually really bad at this. I am actually so bad at this. Alright. Oh. Literally, both of them... I'm not going to get this in 4 minutes. I should have done 10 minutes, shouldn't have. I should have done 10 minutes. I generally thought this would be too easy. Oh, that just bounced straight right out. Oh my god. Why am I so bad? Have you seen how big these cups are? How am I so bad? Literally, nobody will want me on their massive beer pong team. Oh, it bounced out of one and into another one. Right, that's 2. What is that, like 2 out of 10? Oh, it bounced straight out. Oh, fuck it. Oh, that bounced straight out. That's so not fair. That is so not fair. That is so not fair. Right, maybe I need to do like an underhand thing. No. No? Oh my gosh, it just literally skimmed over the top of them. This is really bad. I'm just not getting a freaking hint on that. I'm never going to complete a single challenge for this. Wait, did it go in? No, it didn't. Oh, damn it, I thought it did. Yeah. This is actually embarrassing. Right, I'm going to do it standing up, see if this works. Yay! But it does have a tendency to skim the top of them. So what is that now, 3? I've got just under 2 minutes to go. Maybe do it like this. Okay, I'm counting it even though it rolled out. I'm counting it because it did go in. Oh my god, this could actually be the return of the king by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm so out of breath. I can't even remember how I did that. No, can't even remember how I did that. Return of the man. I just got 2 again! Even though it rolled out, I'm still counting it because I knocked it over. I've got 3 left. And just over a minute to go. My back is killing me. Oh, come on! Oh no! Oh my god, I've only got 2 left. I've only got 2 left. Come on, you bitch. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game, come on. Oh man! I knocked it over, but it didn't even go in. Oh. Come on. 42 seconds. Come on. Oh, that was so bad. Oh man, if it was only just a little bit higher. Okay. Oh, this is a bigger workout than I had all day. Oh my god, I just have one more. Come on. Come on, just one more. 22 seconds left. Come on. Oh no, damn it. It bounced off the rim, so it just got frick out. Come on. Oh no. Come on. Oh my god, I've got 5 seconds. Come on. Oh, no. I had one to go. Okay, maybe I should have given myself 5 minutes. I thought maybe 4 minutes would be too easy. Right, while I catch my breath, I'll let you know what Dinner at the Night Library is about, by Hika Harada. Translated by Philip Gabriel, who also translated The Travelling Cat Chronicles, which I have read and I did like. But this one follows a woman who works at a chain bookstore, and that sounds like me. She feels like, yeah, her reality is crashing down around her, and she's thinking of quitting. I'm like, oh my god, she's speaking to my soul. Are we the same person? She is approached by someone who claims that they are called 7 Rainbows or something like that. And they tell her to apply to a library with no name, otherwise known as the Night Library. So I guess that is a name. So yeah, she ends up getting a job at this library, and apparently she goes on bookish adventures with her colleagues each night or something like that. I do really want to read this. This is in my 26 books to read in 2026. And I'm hoping it's good. I know it has had maybe a few mixed reviews. So let's hope this is a traitor. The cats have been sleeping all day. I've got to page 6. They know when I've opened a book and they go, huh, you think you're going to read? You think you're going to read? I think 7 pages in is a new record, isn't it? Are you ruining my top? Are you serious right now? Excuse me. It is a couple of hours later and I've just made it to page 113, which is an exact mirror of the final page count of this, which is 311. And I think that's a perfect place to DNF this. I'm not DNFing this because I just want it to be over kind of thing. I do not like this book that much, to be quite honest. I'm not a big fan of the characters. I find them so soulless, and I think it's doing a disservice to librarians. I really do. I got to episode 2. It's split into episodes. I got to episode 2 and there's a character, it completely kind of changed POV character in chapter episode 2, because the first episode was about Ortaha, and yeah, she has been indicted into this night library, and it's so sketch, it's really sketchy the way that she's brought into it, and I'm there's just so many red flags there. There is probably a better way of writing the introduction of this library and how she ends up getting a job at this library, but there were just way too many red flags and they were kind of ignored. that I'm just left baffled, like, why we went that route. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I think it sounds like a pretty decent job, but when you're having to do a Zoom call with the owner, but their face is blacked out, they're using a voice changer, I do think that is cause for concern. And like nobody's met the owner, which I do like that element of mystery, absolutely. But surely the owner could have had someone else do the interview as they're like watching with the camera off, which, oh my god, that would also be like very intense. A little bit mystery inducing. Oh, my fitness app just went off. Goal achieved. Exercise goal achieved. Okay. I mean, I haven't done fuck all for the last couple of hours except sit, but okay. So yeah, surely someone else could have done the interview and he could have just been watching with the camera off. But instead, like, we had that whole malarkey. She was approached via social media, and there's just, like, some weird stuff. But anyway, she gets there, and, like, it's all fine and well in the first, like, episode. Like, it was fine. Like, I was like, okay, this could be interesting. They're not exactly a library. They're kind of more like a museum for books. And whenever, like, an author has passed away, they usually get their collections. And it's pretty intriguing. It is. But then, you know, everything else around that has just been so incredibly boring. Even talking about the author collections that they've been getting, we're not really learning a great deal about them. We are getting some author names, but nothing really being delved into. Like, I don't even know if these authors are real or if they were made up for this book or not, because nothing is given to me. Just like so many name drops, and this is that collection, and this person wants that collection, this is what they do. I'm just like, I'm not getting anything from the story. And the part where it made me think, okay, I kind of want to DNF this, is that in episode 2, we kind of have a little bit of a different character, and they're emailing someone, or at least, like, they received an email, okay? They received an email with an inquiry. And the way that this person goes on, this librarian goes on, I'm like, there is no way a librarian will be this, or like feel this nastily towards a customer who was literally just emailing an inquiry. I fired up the computer and straightened up the desk. Needed to reply to the inquiries that came in via the library's public email address. So this is the email they got. I'm looking into the author Kiyotaka Ishikawa from Saitama Prefecture. Does his collection contain any books related to the medical field? If it does, could you please create a list of these and send it to me? So this is their reply. No idea, you pest, I inwardly cursed. This isn't a public library and I am no volunteer. So why did I have to create and send a list just because this researcher poser I didn't know from Adam sent in a request? Handing such reference requests was one of the main tasks of librarian, of course, but did I really have to go all that trouble here? If among the list there are some interesting looking books, I'm willing to go visit directly to look into them further. That's another part of the email. What? Is he saying that if they have some useful material, he doesn't mind deigning to come check them out? This guy's definitely a teacher or a scholar with that superior attitude he's got to be. It's like such a normal, nice sounding email request. If it does, could you please create a list of these and send it to me? And bear in mind, like, this is the actual night library. Like, they don't let people check books out. You have to come there and read them. It is literally like a museum of books. It's a museum of books. And like, people would have to go there. So like, he's even saying like, I'm willing to make the journey. I just want to know if you have them first. I want to know what you have first before I make the journey. And this librarian is like, oh my god, you pest. Like, sure, it's my job. But like, do I have to go through all that trouble? Oh my god. I love librarians. Every librarian I've met has just been so graceful and lovely. This is making librarians look like they hate their job. And I don't think that's true. I just don't think that's true. I don't like seeing this character. Maybe episode 3 follows a different character, but I already know I don't like the characters in this. I know I don't like it. Irritated, I typed and sent my reply. I'd expected to feel refreshed getting that off my plate, but with the faint whoosh as the reply was sent, I felt even more irritated than before. This sender's brazenness offended me. There was no brazen attitude in that email, if you ask me. That happened pages 82 to 84, and the chapter didn't end until 112. So I had to read nearly another 30 pages before I was like, okay, I'm definitely doing that in this. I can't do this. I'm not doing this to myself. I also saw that Jessie the Reader gave this 2 stars, literally only a couple of days ago, and I love Jessie the Reader so much. And Jessie the Reader is a lot more graceful than I am, and if he gives it 2 stars, I can only imagine what I would give it if I finished it. So it's best I DNF it now. Don't give it a rating, just DNF. But I made a good chunk of the way through. I did 2 of the 5 long-ass chapters. I'm calling it quits. I'm calling it quits. Dinner at the night library, you are banished from my TBR. Most likely banished from this library room as well. If I have to unhold another book, I already know which one I'm unhauling. We're going to stick Dinner at the Night Library there again. I apologise for any of the glare. And we are going to find out if Dinner at the Night Library was a goddamn faithful or a traitor. Better be a traitor. Please be a traitor. Please, I'm ready. I am so ready to move on. I'm literally telling you, I'm so ready. I just had a video go up today. So if I do have to continue reading, it's fine. Like, it's not a problem. But I'm like, I don't like losing. And I feel like if I don't get the freaking traitor before the end, I'm going to feel like a failure. So that's one that, like, it's a double-edged sword. I want to read all the books on my TBR, but I also want to win. So, let's find out. Let's find out. It's one of my 26 books in 2026 as well. So pop the trophy, Gav. That's awesome. Even though I DNF'd it, I will still count it because it's off my TBR now. So let's just find out. Let's find out. Right. Dinner at the Night Library. Are you a faithful or are you a traitor? Oh, fuck. Oh, it's a faithful again. Oh, I am so bad at this in this episode. I'm even like trying so hard, more so than the first episode, to think it through. I'm trying so hard to think it through. But I'm like, what the ever loving F-U-C-K. I'm just getting out. Well, the book I'm going to unhaul is Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada. Like, literally, what can possibly be the trio out of the last three? Okay, My Husband's Wife. This is the second thrill that was on my TBR. It's a kind of traitor-looking book, if you ask me. If anything's going to be a traitor, it's probably this one. But also, I feel like Vigil also looks like a traitor. Maybe she might pick this as a traitor because I don't think Steph knows too much about it. I don't think this is even something that Steph would like. So maybe she made it a traitor because she was like, well, I don't think I'm going to like that one, so have fun with that. And then Guillotine, this could also, it's a traitor-looking book too. But also this is a novella. She's already made a novella a traitor. But maybe that's the point. Maybe she made both of them traitors because maybe she thinks that I'm going to think that she would make both of them traitors. So that would be why I would avoid this one. She's like, if you get one of them, then you won't go to the other novella and think it's a traitor because you won't think that I would do that again. Oh my god, she's so clever. She's so freaking clever. I've no clue. Like, one of these three is a feckin' traitor. I don't know. There's good reasons for any of them. I'm just waffling now. I'm just waffling. I feel like half of the runtime of this episode is me trying to figure it out and rationalize. I'm trying to get a vision. I'm trying to get a vision just touching these. See if anything comes to me. Steph, you nasty. Right, I am currently on sprints right now, and I do need to have something to read. Otherwise, I was just going to, like, take the rest of the night off. But, like, we need to catch that last goddamn traitor if it's the last thing I do. So we're continuing on. But I do have the ALC. I got the ALC for this, but it's already out now because I also have the physical copy. But I did get this one on Libro. It says signed independent bookshop edition. Where did I get this from, then? Because Waterstones is not independent. Where did I get it from? And I'm already on chapter 4, and already it's very intriguing. So the first 3 chapters, it has been following someone called Eden, and she's out for a run. She goes back to her home, but like she's locked out, so she knocks on the door, and a woman answers, and Eden's like, what the fuck are you doing in my house for? And then the woman inside is like, who the fuck are you? And then she calls for her husband, but Eden's like, that's my husband. My husband's in there. And the woman who answered the door is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then the husband comes, and the husband's like, who are you? To Eden, the point of view character that we've had for the first 3 chapters, he's like, I don't know you, leave. And then he calls the police. And so, like, the main character from the first 3 chapters, is she actually married to him? Or, like, has she made it up? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm so confused about, like, what's going on right now. I mean, not confused in a bad way, but, like, confused as in, like, this is crazy. So, like, is the husband lying about not knowing her? It's so weird. It's so weird so far. So, yeah, I'm on chapter 4 already, page 16. I'm going to tandem read. I'm going to continue these reading sprints and listen to the audiobook, read physically. I also believe that Richard Armitage also narrates this audiobook. It's dual narrated, and I love me some Richard Armitage. I used to have a big crush on him when I was younger, so that's going to be really interesting to listen to his voice, hear the character in this story, and I've heard great things about this too, so I am actually genuinely excited to read it and to read my very first Alice Feeney book. But if there's not a traitor, I don't care if I loved it or whatever, it's going out the window. Spins are just finished. I have 1 hour and 35 minutes left of the audiobook, which means I am 167 pages into My Husband's Wife. I'll tell you about it in a second. But for the last sprint, I've just been essentially sorting my laundry. But also, I still had so many sweaters and jumpers and hoodies, like, still hanging up and stuff. I've now moved most of them, like, folded them. I've did a shit job. And put them at the top. I put them at the top. Now that Barradeur, the Lego Barradeur, doesn't live up there anymore, there's more room. So I'm doing that. And so now I have a little bit more space. And I kind of just want to prioritize hanging up, like, the t-shirts and stuff. Now it's definitely getting a lot warmer on the lead up to, like, spring. So that's what I want to do. And I want to hang up some of my workout gear as well. I would rather have it hanging up than shoved into drawers. So that's what I've been doing. And honestly, listening to this while doing that has been such a fantastic experience. I have been really enjoying this. The audiobook has been so good as well. Sometimes there are, like, interview sections where you do have two of the characters talking. But saying that though, like, there are different POV characters and each chapter is kind of narrated by someone else. But, like, when one of those characters is talking, like, they're putting on a voice, instead of getting the character who has a POV chapter to voice it. Like, for instance, Richard Armitage, like, he's the husband, and whenever he appears in a different chapter, it's like them putting on a voice, like, not Richard Armitage, which is a little bit like, okay, like, you had the means, you had the man, you might as well use him for all he's worth. So that's a little bit different. But anyway, I'm not using that against this book. I am finding this so entertaining. So many different things have happened. Different characters have kind of got really interesting plot threads. And, like, for instance, like, there is another character who we see, like, 6 months before. And then we get introduced to more characters. We have, like, maybe some police officers and people investigating. So, yeah, it's been interesting following all these different people. There was, like, for me, there was, like, maybe an obvious thing. But I feel like now, at this point in the story, that's kind of been eliminated. And I think that the obvious thing, I don't think Alice Feeney would do because it would be too obvious. So that's why my mind automatically went. So I will be very pleasantly surprised by whatever happens. This book does have the ability to shock me if it really tries. Tobu was running around, so if the camera keeps shaking, it's because of him. But yeah, I'm going to continue listening. I mean, it is like 10 p.m. now, which means if I just plow on for the rest of this book, it'll be 11:30 p.m. I have training at 9 a.m. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I need to know what the hell is going on. Like, ASAP. It's been too, like, nothing like too extra. I mean, it's been odd. The situation has been odd. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what could possibly be the outcome. I don't understand. But there are a couple of characters that I've got my eye on. I'm like, I don't trust you, but we'll see how I feel by the end. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this. Okay. Oh gosh, my freaking microphone isn't even on. Well, holy moly. Yeah, I have just this minute finished My Husband's Wife. It is 11:30 p.m. right now. And I didn't expect that last chapter. I didn't expect that little bit of a twist at the end there. I thought we'd wrapped it up. However, Miss Feeney had other plans. That was really good. I really enjoyed listening to this, and it was maybe a little convoluted, but I was thoroughly entertained. Wasn't expecting a lot of the reveals, and yeah, that last chapter, I'm like, okay, you got me. Because up until that point, I was like, yeah, okay, like, this is pretty good. But I think that last chapter, I got it from, like, pretty good to great. I thought this was great. I'm going to give this one 4 stars. Not a new favourite thriller, unfortunately, but I really enjoyed the characters. I liked a specific character called Birdie. I really enjoyed following them. and what they had gone through in the past and how it all connects to now, it kept me on my toes. And I did predominantly listen to this. I did kind of tandem read this one physically and audio while I was doing the sprints, but because I was doing my wardrobe, which is now done pretty much, can always do with more improvement, I was just cracking on listening to this mostly. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good. Really, really good. It did what a thriller needed to do, and I was thrilled. So I will definitely check out more books by Alice Feeney. I'm not 100% sure I would buy another one, but I would definitely check one out in my library. I know there's Daisy Darker, that could be a good one. Or Beautiful Ugly, I've heard good things about that. Yeah, that was really, really good. Book number 8 for TBR Traitors. Who knew we would get to book frickin' 8? Okay, it might be super late, but I am banishing my husband's wife from my TBR. You have been read. Now, you do need to reveal to me whether or not you are a faithful or a traitor. And if you're not a friggin' traitor, after I've stayed up this late, which actually isn't really that late, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, but like, I've got things to do in the morning. But I need to find out if we are ending this vlog and I can move on with my life. Let's find out. And again, I picked this one because I wanted a 5-star thriller. It wasn't quite a 5-star thriller, but it was still incredibly entertaining. Here goes frickin' nothing. Come on, be a traitor. Be a traitor. Oh, I am absolutely shit at this. I am so shit at this. What do you mean? I've now got a 50-50 chance of getting it right, and at this rate, I think I'm just going to get it wrong. Whatever it is next, I'm just going to get it wrong. It was a faithful. It's a faithful. Well. I just didn't realise I'd be this bad. I mean, now that I've got 2 faithfuls out in a row, I could do a challenge and ask for a hint, but I'm most likely going to fail the challenge. And I've only got 2 books left anyway. I think I know what I'm unhauling. Since I did have issues with dinner at the night library today, and I knew anything kind of slice of life is not going to be for me, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Vanishing Cherry Blossom bookshop. Even though it does look so adorable and so cute, and I love the cover so much, it sounds adorable. Look, this kind of book is not working for me, and I'm keep trying to force it. I need to stop forcing it. It's not good for anyone. So I'm sure this is really good, but I do think this kind of book is just not for me. It's just not for me. I cannot let the very last book be a traitor. Like, that can't happen. I need to get the traitor out before I reach the end. This is ridiculous. I need to sleep on it. I need to sleep on it. Tomorrow is a brand new day. I'm definitely going to get a traitor tomorrow. But that's because I've got no other books to read. Someone is getting shit through their letterbox. Right, I know what I'm going to do now. So I am going to read both Vigil by George Saunders and Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. These are the final 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read both of them. And then tonight I will find out which one was the traitor out of these 2. And I'm going to start with Vigil, because I think this is the traitor. I do. I want to start with this one, which means it's my 9th book of the frickin' vlog. And if this one turns out to be the traitor, then I've won. But if this one turns out to be the traitor, and it was the very last book that I read for this vlog, it meant that this was the last one standing. This is the last book standing. The traitor won. So, freaking hopefully, it's Vigil. Yeah, I feel like whenever this happens in the future, and I'm left with a faithful and a traitor, then we will do like a final 2. I will read both of them, and this is how it's going to work. I was brainstorming last night. I was thinking, how am I going to do this? And yeah, so we're going to find out together tonight after both of these are read. So I'm going to sit downstairs and read Vigil. I have not long got back in from training. My mum and sister and my nephew came, and they're now just gone. This one I only really picked it because Kayla loved it and I'm very intrigued by it. So I think this follows someone called Jill who has died before, and I think she helps ferry people into the next life. Yeah, she plummets towards her newest charge, yet another soul she must usher into the afterlife, and lands headfirst in the circular drive of his ornate mansion. This charge is not like the other ones because he doesn't have any regrets. And yeah, apparently this book transports us through the wild final evening of a complicated man. This had better be the fecking traitor. And it's so warm today. I would be so tempted to sit outside, but all of my like outside furniture is kind of like in the shed and it's crawling with spiders. I don't think I want to even touch that. So it's just going to be one of those days where, again, I just like read in the house. I was tempted to go to a coffee shop, maybe. I actually do like want to change things a little bit. I feel like I've been cooped up in the house just reading like all year, essentially. I haven't really been able to read in cafes that much, unless it was for a 24-hour readathon, because that helps break the day up. I'm like, should I just walk down to Costa? I mean, it's like dinner time now. It's like nearly 12. I imagine it's going to be quite busy, and that puts me off. Like, will I find a good seat to sit at and read? And there isn't really like any other nearby coffee shops I could just sit in. Yeah, no, I'm just going to make a homemade coffee and I'm just going to chill all day in the house reading these. I'm just going to be boring. I'm going to be boring in this vlog. I don't care. Homemade coffee all the way. I make the best coffees anyway.
Yeah, it's a piece of cake. The silence written up, feel free. No more chains are holding me. I found my way, I'm moving on. You're just a ghost and I'm already gone. I'm pushing back every step I take, fighting myself with every break. Feel like I'm cutting the undertow. You thought you had me hooked, but I'm on the track. I'm down if you don't look back, and don't you come back. I'm done with you, don't need to stay. Chasing shadows, pushing me away. Now you wonder how I could let this go. Oh, it's a piece of cake. Yeah, it's a piece of cake.
Okay, I can understand why Kayla would like this one, and like it wasn't terrible for me. I did find it quite interesting what it was doing with the message that I kind of wanted to do and show us by the end of it. But yeah, I'm kind of just like left from this book just feeling a little bit like, okay, yeah. I give it a 3-star, which actually isn't terrible. Okay, so the things I liked about this. I liked Jill as a main character, only because like even though there was like a lot of nonsensical ravings from some of the characters, like especially a Frenchman, there were definitely times when I was starting to lose where I was supposed to be with the story, because I don't think it's as straightforward. The writing style is a little bit different. There are a lot of like brackets being used, as in like the story's being told and then within the brackets there's more information or more detail being told in the brackets, and there's not really a whole great deal of speech marks and things like that. So the way it's written is definitely different to what I'm used to. So definitely a lot more like literary. You know what? I was kind of comparing this to like Good Spirits by B.K. Morrison, but make it literary and don't really have a romance in it. Like that's kind of like how I was sort of picturing a little bit. It is very Christmas Carol-esque. You know, Jill has gone to this man who is dying, and I said before that in the summary it says that this man has no regrets, and I thought that was probably a good thing. I couldn't quite remember what Kayla had said exactly what this book was about or what she thought of it, but I forgot how she described that man. And yeah, I thought like, oh, maybe he just like lived a life to its fullest. And I mean, to be fair, he doesn't really have regrets, which, you know, it says that on the back. But he isn't a good person. He's just very ignorant, and he is not a nice one to follow. And sometimes that actually can be very intriguing to read. I don't think this gets wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. And some of it did feel a little bit bleak. Felt a little bit bleak, which is kind of why I liked following Jill, even though sometimes her story got a little bit conflated with other people's stories, so I wasn't fully sure of the voice. I wasn't fully sure of who was speaking when and what part of the story was hers. But I did like that she was discovering a lot about her time when she was alive and what that means to her now, as she is kind of like looking back on the experiences she had, the feelings that she once had and stuff like that. So like that was definitely interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I thought of Good Spirits. a little bit. And obviously that's the kind of reader I am. Like, I'm not that much of a literary reader. I am obviously going to compare this to something that maybe people find trash, but I really enjoyed Good Spirits. And I think Good Spirits is definitely more my speed. I think this is in a lane all on its own. This is in a lane that I should not be part of. Because even though I'm giving this 3 stars, a lot of it is due to respect. Respect for the craft. The way it's written, I can't really fault it. I can't really fault it exactly. I do wish some of those themes that it was exploring, especially to do with the man who was dying and what he was doing in his life, I kind of wish that was explored a little bit more. Maybe if this was longer, maybe it would have been. Or maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand. Maybe everything was explained better and it just went over my head, potentially. Potentially. Yeah, honestly, there was just like some random stuff that felt random but was most likely intentional from the author. But like, for instance, like a lot of the Frenchman's parts, like even the main character says at one point, nonsensical ravings. And I'm like, yeah, it does feel like a whole lot of nonsense. Like some of it anyway, some of it felt a little bit nonsensical. And I do think with the way that the dialogue is written, and there is almost like a very stilted kind of writing style to it, it is very easy to lose track of who's speaking when and all of that. But yeah, like I respect it. I do. I respect it, but I didn't love it. So 3 stars. 3 stars is pretty all right. But yeah, this is the one that I do think is the traitor. I do think Steph might make this one a traitor. I just don't think she would have made Guillotine a traitor because of making Automatic Noodle a traitor before. Even though these look like they are similar. How many pages is Guillotine? Okay, Guillotine is actually longer. But bless Steph's heart for making 2 shorty patooties a traitor. She probably thought, oh, I'll be kind to him because he'll probably try and read the short books first. So that was probably her way of thinking, but obviously I took it the wrong way. So we will not be finding out if Vigil is the traitor until later today. Guillotine, I am going to sit down and read now. It is not even 3 p.m. and it only took me a couple of hours to get through this. So I imagine this will probably take me another couple of hours and Bob's your Uncle Fanny's around. I'm done. Very excited for this. Steph gave this such a good review and I did really enjoy Bloom by this author. Oh my god, and this is set at Easter. And considering we've just had Easter weekend, I should have read this earlier. There is a thrift fashionista called Des Lane. She starts dating a guy, but she really just wants to talk to the guy's mother because the guy's mother is an editor of a fashion magazine. And yeah, she really just wants to meet her. So I think for Easter, she gets invited to like the family mansion or like family island. I believe it's on an island. And I think this is supposed to be quite horror. It says Glass Onion meets Saw in this savagely on-point thriller by T. Kingfisher said that. Glass Onion, I do like the Knives Out films. And Saw, hey, I used to like those back in the day too. I'm like, oh god, what is the Ruskin family hiding? It's not too late for a cheeky coffee. And I might also see if this is on Libro and also do the audiobook of this because I am fancying an audiobook now, I think. You're not going to believe this, but we are going to end this vlog. Well, not yet, but like we're going to end the TBR in this video with a 5-star. We're going to end it with a 5-star, which is kind of impressive because I would have thought like by this point, we just wouldn't get there. We got kind of close to a 5-star in this video a couple of times, but I do think this is the 5-star for me. Love the fact that we saved the best to last. But yeah, 5 stars. Like literally, as soon as we got to a certain point, it was just like bloody carnage after that. But even before then, Des, our main character, she is somebody who I can totally like respect as someone who like she will do what she needs to get what she wants kind of thing. And like I can't judge, you know, that she's willing to like use what she has to get closer to her boyfriend's mother. So that's one thing. That is one thing. But I will say we take a huge pivot when all of that bloody carnage starts to begin. And it was a little bit unexpected. I wasn't sure how it would begin, so I'm not going to say how it does. But when it begins, and when you start to hear like some of the reasons why, I was like, oh, okay, like that's really interesting. Like I'm kind of like rooting for this a little bit. Like I'm kind of like, okay, like the revenge, like there's a lot of revenge. Predominantly this is like a revenge story. And when you hear about like some of the reasons, I'm like, okay, like I I don't want to watch this, but I kind of do. It's a little bit satisfying, but also like very morbid. And I couldn't look away. Like as much as I was like, okay, that's like really freaking gross. I couldn't look away. And it was very creative as well in some of the kills. Very creative. Some that I hadn't really seen. Well, actually, no. There was one that I thought, oh, I have seen this before in a Fear Street novel. But in a good way. Like, this is actually doing something that Fear Street did, but in a very good way. Also, the fact that this island that she goes to in the whole Roskin family, oh my gosh, like, they're terrifying, for one, because, like, they are people who think they are superior to anyone else. Everyone on the island is pretty much white. And if that doesn't tell you all you need to know, let me spell it out for you. That is terrifying. That's a terrifying concept. And so you learn a little bit more about what this family has done and what it continues to do and what's happening now. I was just on the edge of my seat reading this, to be fair. Just completely on the edge of my seat. Oh, literally, I just opened it straight up to one of the pages, page 105, and it's like, let's just say there's some popping. Let's just say there's some popping. That was incredibly, yeah. Like, I wouldn't even know how I would cope in this situation myself, and I did really like some of the choices in the end as well when it comes to the main character. I like to say it. I like to say it. This was like fulfilling a kind of morbid curiosity that I feel like with Bloom, like I really enjoy Bloom as well. Bloom I gave 4.5. This one like also like satiated that hunger, but on a bigger scale. Yeah, I just can't get some of the kills out of my mind. It was like so good. It was like so creative. I really enjoyed it. It was a great way of kind of ending this TBR. Morbidly satisfying. I think that's what I'm gonna say about this book. Bottom line, morbidly satisfying. 5-star. My 4th 5-star of the year. Well, it is now the finale. We have our final 2 books, and now I'm going to find out whether or not I won episode 2 of TBR Traitors. If Vigil turns out to be the traitor, I win. If Guillotine turns out to be the traitor, then I lose. Okay, drum roll please. So now it's time for the end, the finale, the final 2. Can you reveal, Vigil, Guillotine, were you faithfuls or were you traitors? Again, this is so dumb. This is so dumb, and now I've got something in my eye. I don't want to ruin this moment. My heart is like literally, please let me win. Please let me win. Come on, Vigil. Come on, Vigil. Ah, yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I did it. I did it. I mean, it took me 9 books. 9 books to do it, but Vigil is the traitor. Guillotine was a faithful. That was my reasoning. That was why, after Old Mac Noodle, I thought, oh, well, Guillotine's not going to be a traitor. Guillotine is faithful. Vigil, this was the traitor, which means that I did read it before the vlog. Well, before I read the final book. This was not the final book. This is the 9th book I read. It took 9 books for me to get both traitors. That was one hell of a journey, Steph. You absolute I'm kidding. I love you so much. Thank you so much, Steph. And again, everyone, please check out Steph down below. She is awesome. And just a massive thank you for picking the faithfuls and the traitors in this episode. Steph, you did a wonderful job. An absolutely wonderful job picking. It's going to be very hard for me to do any worse in the future. Hopefully. Just watch next episode, the 10th book is the traitor. Just watch. But oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy. Thank you. Thank you. That was way too close. The traitors almost won the 2nd episode of TBR Traitors. We're only 2 episodes in, and that was way too close. Gavin, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Don't let it happen again. And just like with episode 1, I did get my channel members to also try and guess which 2 books on my TBR were traitors. And incredibly, 7 of the 355 responses were absolutely spot on. So a big shout out to Amanda, Jess, The Reading Swifty, Tara, Bianca, Slurmy Ermy, and Read My Life for guessing both Automatic Noodle and Vigil would be the traitors of this episode. Your prize of bragging rights will arrive shortly. TBR Traitors will be back, but in the meantime, please do remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, use those channel hype points if you have any left to give, and leave all your comments down below as well. Let me know if you guessed the traitors correctly based off zero information. And a big thank you to my channel members for supporting my channel. If you would like to join my channel membership, then the link is in the description box. But until next time, bye bye. Just so everyone knows, because I'm about to film the part where, well, literally the first scene of TBR Traitors episode 2. I thought I would let you know, this is a very cold bath. The hot water ain't working. It ain't working in this bath. The boiler man's coming tomorrow. Should have come weeks ago, but for some reason, the job got cancelled, and I have no idea why. Anyway, yeah, he's coming tomorrow, so this is a freaking cold-ass bath, and I can't wait any longer to do this. I need to do it. It's the last thing I need to film, is me coming out of this bath. Well, I'm going to be walking into it backwards so that I can, like, reverse the clip. But essentially, I need to go into this freaking cold bath. It's going to be a cold plunge. It's going to be a cold plunge. Fucking hell. Oh, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Anyway, better get the air robe on. This is going to be a one-take kind of thing. I ain't doing it twice. Oh, it's so fucking cold. It's so fucking cold. Oh my god. Oh, my ass is wet now. I need to try and get this water hot somehow. I can't do that. This will be the second and final take, because I ain't gonna be doing another one. Right, please work this time. Oh, please don't be too cold. What's it like? Oh, I mean, it's lukewarm. It's lukewarm, that's better. That is better, okay. Oh my god, that better look nice. That better look good. Oh my god.